K today. He's a right-handed pitcher with a 5-0 record and a 4.37 ERA, holding opposing hitters to just a 2.02 average. It's going to be a tough matchup on the mound today for Chris Torres in this Upstate lineup. Let's get into this weekend so far. 2 games on tap. Starting with Upstate in Kentucky, this is an elimination game. Tonight, it is the 1-0 game. The winner will go through to the regional championship game Sunday night, needing to just win once, either Sunday night or Monday, to go to Super Regionals. For Clemson, it will, or whoever it is, it looks like they will have to go on the road in the Super Regional, barring a major upset in Baton Rouge. But it is Clemson and Kentucky today. The winner of this game will play in another elimination tomorrow at noon. So that is where Upstate would be with a win today over Kentucky. We will play tomorrow at noon against the loser of tonight's game between the Tigers and Mountaineers. Kentucky is rolling out a lineup that looks like this. Luke Lawrence is leading off and playing second base, hitting .293 on the season with 8 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 home runs, but has stolen 11 bases on the year. The two-hole hitter is Ryan Schwartz. He's one of 2 hitters in this Kentucky lineup that is hitting over 300 on the season. 2 hitters in the starting lineup specifically. The big story into this game is that Tyler Bell, their leadoff hitter and shortstop yesterday, is not in the lineup. We saw him foul a ball off of his knee yesterday on the outside of his right knee for the left-handed hitter. It really stung him, and that was very early in the game as well. He ended up playing through it and didn't really seem to have too many obvious issues with it yesterday. Kentucky did make 2 errors defensively, but none of them were involved by Bell. It didn't seem, at least at the time, that his motion was very limited, but there were talks of a lot of tests going on his knee this morning, and the decision made by head coach Nick Mingione to not go with their leadoff hitter and one of their best hitters in this elimination game today for Kentucky. So their shortstop is going to be somebody different, but he has played a lot this season. More on him in just a little bit. Cole Haig is the left fielder batting third. He's hitting .316 with 12 doubles and 12 home runs. Leads the team in both of those categories. 39 RBIs on the year. He also can run, so 12 home runs, 15 stolen bases for the left fielder. Batting cleanup is the switch hitter, James McCoy, batting .290. A little bit less game time for him. Ryan Schwartz is starting just his 16th game, the 2-hole hitter. James McCoy starting his 23rd game of the year. So there are not a ton of guys, as we talked about. This Kentucky team has been plagued by injuries this year. Not a lot of guys that have tons and tons of starts, where you look at Upstate and some of these game start numbers, 57, 60, 44, 56, 59, 52, 44, and 43. You're looking at down here, and there are a handful of guys, actually, I think more than half of this Kentucky, kind of counting it quickly. Yeah, 5 guys that have not started more than 30 games. They're playing in game number 55 of the season. Ryan Schwartz with 15, James McCoy with 22, Carson Hansen, who's batting 5th with 26, Hudson Brown is the DH batting 7th. He's started 26, and Caius Gargett, who's the new shortstop, starting his 25th game of the season. Wrapping up the lineup, Carson Hansen batting 5th in center field, Patrick Herrera batting 6th and playing third base, Hudson Brown is the DH batting 7th, Caius Gargett is the new shortstop batting 8th, and the catcher Devin Burks bats 9th. Against Nick McKay, the right-handed starter for Kentucky, 4.37 ERA on the season for McKay. It'll be his, obviously, first start of the weekend. He's a transfer from South Dakota State, has a 5-0 record on the year. He's battled injuries throughout his career, but he's going to have to pitch with their backs against the wall here in an elimination game. We'll get into the Upstate lineup here in just a little bit when we are ready to get into Upstate's lineup and the Chris Torres start some of his numbers and a player to watch today for Upstate and what could be Upstate's last game of the season. In its first regional ever last night was electric really for both games. It was a better crowd than I expected to see in the West Virginia-Kentucky game, a day game at a regional where both teams are playing neutral site. Big Blue Nation, Kentucky has a really, really good traveling fan base, and we saw a lot of blue here yesterday. I expect to see the same, and then hopefully some Clemson and West Virginia fans maybe file on in here as well in anticipation of their game tonight. But it is the 36-24 Upstate Spartans, 19-5 Big South champions, against the 29-25 Kentucky Wildcats, who got in at-large berth after going 13-17, 13th place in the Southeastern Conference, where it just means more. Let's take our last break. Upstate and Kentucky. Beacon Drive-In pregame show 15 minutes before first pitch. It'll be at 11:45 today, about 13 minutes from now. And first pitch, as the countdown clock continues to dwindle here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium, 33 and a half minutes away. It was 6,000 folks packed in here last night. I think they're going to get another packed crowd tonight for the Tigers in their game against West Virginia. Maybe threaten that attendance record tonight as well, as it was packed in with a lot of orange. But the don't need a big crowd for the stakes tonight. It is win or go home in the Clemson Regional. The first elimination game of the weekend is 30 minutes away. Upstate of Kentucky, this is the Upstate Tailgate presented by Carolina Driveline.
Most restaurant menus are engineered by a bunch of guys in suits sitting around a boardroom, not at Wings, etc. Heck, I'm not even sure if these fellas own a suit. They're simple people who know what you want. That's why they've got daily specials like 79-cent boneless and 99-cent traditional wings on Mondays, 89-cent tenders on Tuesdays, and 69-cent fried shrimp on Wednesdays. They also have weekday specials on margaritas as well as a wide selection of ice-cold beers. Keep it simple and stop by Wings, etc. in Boiling Springs, open daily at 11 a.m.
I'm John Hawkins. If you've been injured in a car accident, call all threes.
Call all threes.
If I'm injured in a car accident, I'm calling all threes.
Visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville or call all threes.
3333333 Hawk Law.
This is John Hawkins with Hawk Law. It's easier than ever to call us at all threes or visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville.
I'm calling all threes.
I'm calling Hawk Law.
3333333 Hawk Law.
If it matters to Spartanburg,
Listen to me. We love this is what matters.
hear it here on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Spartanburg Viking football, local high school basketball, the USC Upstate Spartans, the Hub City Spartanburgers.
It's the Upstate's best sports lineup, flanked by the Spartanburg games you need to hear.
Hear all the games you need right here and streaming on the Fox Sports Spartanburg app.
Don't forget the website.
And at SpartanburgSportsRadio.com.
You already know Carolina Driveline is the Upstate's leader for custom drive shafts and high-performance racing. But did you know Carolina Driveline also specializes in agricultural and industrial equipment? Carolina Driveline can keep your equipment moving so you're never down for long. And when the work weekends, Carolina Driveline's 37 years of experience can deliver the best in off-road racing and 4x4 solutions. Whether it's your workday equipment, your everyday car, or your weekend 4x4, Carolina Driveline is your high-performance solution. Find out more at carolinadriveline.com.
For the last year, we've been telling you about a great Mexican restaurant downtown, El Paso Tacos and Tequila. If you haven't been by to try their delicious Tex-Mex lunch combos or their wonderful fajitas, what are you waiting for? For lunch, try an El Paso's favorite, which includes a burrito, taco, an enchilada, and a chalupa. For dinner, you can never go wrong with El Paso's quesadillas. And remember, happy hour is 4 to 7 p.m. every day. So ask about all the different drink specials. Try it all at El Paso Tacos and Tequila, across from the new Spartanburger Stadium downtown.
Chris Foster puts his first and last name on his business, and that means something. Chris Foster Heating and Air has served Spartanburg and surrounding areas for well over a decade, and they proudly use Rheem heating and cooling products. Rheem stands behind their products, offering a 10-year parts warranty. If you need a heating and cooling system, need repairs to an existing system, or gas appliance installation, call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836.
Final segment on the Upstate Tailgate presented by Carolina Driveline. Hopefully we're talking to you tomorrow at 11 a.m., but that would mean we need a win over Kentucky, 30 minutes away from first pitch in an elimination game for the Upstate Spartans. Kentucky was walked off last night, or rather yesterday afternoon, on a sacrifice fly by West Virginia in the bottom of the ninth inning, and Upstate lost to Clemson last night 7-3. You heard it right here on Fox Sports Spartanburg 98.3 FM. Before we get into the Upstate lineup, a quick rundown of yesterday's action from across the country. The storyline from yesterday, the 4 seeds that got wins over number 1 seeds in Hattiesburg. Columbia beat Southern Miss last night. St. Mary's over Oregon State in Corvallis late last night. Speaking of Oregon State, their rivals Oregon lost in their home regional, Eugene against Utah Valley. That was one of the couple of 4 seeds that won. And the other one, I believe, was, Murray State over Ole Miss. So where that leaves a couple of games today, winners bracket games from around the country, Vanderbilt and Louisville today. Just not all of them, but a couple of notable ones. Vanderbilt against Louisville today. That's a 1-2. Alabama lost to Miami last night, so the winners bracket game in Hattiesburg is Miami against Columbia. Florida State has Mississippi State today. Northeastern, a popular 2-seed pick to win that regional, including by yours truly, lost yesterday to Mississippi State. They've got Florida State, Southern Cal, and St. Mary's against one of those 1-4 games. North Carolina has Oklahoma. ECU pounded Florida yesterday. They have Coastal Carolina in a winners bracket game today. Stetson and Auburn, Arkansas and Creighton, Tennessee, Cincinnati, obviously Clemson, West Virginia here tonight. LSU has Dallas Baptist, that's 1-2. Georgia has Duke, that's 1-2. UCLA, Arizona State, and Texas against UTSA. So, with that being said, we have an elimination game here today against Kentucky, and here is the lineup that Kane Sweeney will send out to try and keep the season alive. It has stayed exactly the same over the last few weeks, including the same lineup in every postseason game, which features Henry Zener batting a leadoff and playing left field. 1 for 4 in yesterday's game with a hit by pitch. Batting second, Vance Sheehan playing shortstop, extended his reach base streak to 47 games last night with a first inning single. He went 1 for 4. Scott Campbell, not much from him last night. He was 0 for 4, I believe, in that High Point game. Turned around the next day, went 5 for 5, and won the Big South Tournament MVP with that 5 for 5 against Charleston Southern. He's batting third and playing right field. Johnny Sweeney knocked out his 18th home run of the season last night. He's back in the cleanup spot and the DH. Scott Newman knocked out his 19th home run of the season last night. He's the center fielder batting fifth. Preston Lucas will make another start at the catching position, his 53rd start as the catcher. He was 1 for 4 last night with a second inning single. Gage Griggs also punched in a run yesterday. He's batting seventh and playing second base with a fourth inning RBI single to score Scott Newman. Jay Garmsey, the captain, bats eighth and plays first base with Alex Ritzer batting ninth, who reached a couple times on a walk and a hit by pitch, but was 0 for 2 last night. Chris Torres gets the start. He started and got the winning decision in the Big South Championship game against Charleston Southern a week ago today. It is 6 innings for him. That day gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked 4, struck out 4. He has an 8-4 record. Braden Consul got the save that day as well. The start before that to wrap up the regular season from Chris Torres was a little bit shaky against UNC Asheville. As we said, he's dealing with some blisters on his left hand. That's his throwing hand. And we've seen him kind of pause, and it's in between innings where he'll get these forearm cramps. It's going to be hot today. Not overly hot. Like I said, about mid-70s, upper 70s is kind of what we're looking at today, but obviously got to stay hydrated and make sure those forearm cramps don't bother him today. He's going to be opposed by Nick McKay, a 5-0 starter with a 4.37 ERA for Kentucky. Torres is 8-4, making his 16th start of the season with a 4.72, 75 strikeouts to 27 walks. Opponents hitting 288 though, so we got to be able to keep the ball on the ground and keep runners off base. Big storyline in this game from a Kentucky perspective is that Tyler Bell, who is on the SEC All-Freshman team, their starting shortstop, hitting .301 this season, is not in the starting lineup, and we do not expect him to be available. We'll see what he's able to give them if they do want to push it, and there's a pinch hit situation for the Wildcats late. Upstate saw Kentucky last year. They opened the season at Harley Park. Kentucky took all 3 games. Really only that second game was close. It was a 3-0 Kentucky win. 2 of those 3 runs, I went back and looked at it today, were unearned in that game. Also, for what it's worth, only about 9 guys that are in the dugout today for Upstate were in that dugout last year with a revamped roster in 2025 under first-year head coach Kane Sweeney. All right, that'll do it for us for the Upstate Tailgate presented by Carolina Driveline. Huge thank you to Carolina Driveline for sponsoring this show all year long, even going back to basketball season. If this is it for today, we want to thank Carolina Driveline for their support, and we will see you again in basketball season in early November. We should be getting that schedule very, very soon for Upstate basketball. But hopefully we see you again tomorrow with a win. We're playing tomorrow at noon. Coming up in about a few minutes, it's the Beacon Drive-In pregame show. Upstate in Kentucky is next.
Spartan Waste is putting trash in its place in Spartanburg County. Spartan Waste is your locally owned trash collection company, keeping your community clean. Do your part by visiting spartan-waste.com to make sure your trash is picked up on time every time. And when we say Spartan Waste is locally owned, we mean the owners, Mark Nelson and Mark Mullen, are on the job every day, keeping the Spartanburg community where they work and live clean for their families and yours. Keep it clean with Spartan Waste.
Your alarm.
All right, I've added it to reminders.
7 a.m. every weekday, Spartanburg's Best Sports is on Bump and Run, hosted by Tyler Sugar.
That's the guy. That's the hero.
We're talking sports and other stuff. Hear from local high school and college coaches, including USC Upstate, Clemson, and South Carolina. 2 hours to begin your day. The Bump and Run Way, presented by Hawk Law, right here on Fox Sports 98.3 FM.
I'm John Hawkins. If you've been injured in a car accident, call all threes.
Call all threes.
If I'm injured in a car accident, I'm calling all threes.
Visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville or call all threes.
3333333 Hawk Law.
This is John Hawkins with Hawk Law. It's easier than ever to call us at all threes or visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville.
I'm calling all threes.
I'm calling Hawk Law.
3333333 Hawk Law.
You already know Carolina Driveline is the Upstate's leader for custom drive shafts and high-performance racing. But did you know Carolina Driveline also specializes in agricultural and industrial equipment? Carolina Driveline can keep your equipment moving so you're never down for long. And when the work weekends, Carolina Driveline's 37 years of experience can deliver the best in off-road racing and 4x4 solutions. Whether it's your workday equipment, your everyday car, or your weekend 4x4, Carolina Driveline is your high-performance solution. Find out more at carolinadriveline.com.
Hey, Steve and Tommy here from Spartanburg's world-famous Beacon Drive-In. Tommy, what do you think our customers enjoy most at the Beacon?
Cheddar cheeseburger, hash, and sliced pork, egg plantain, fried chicken, blunder, chicken stew, chef salad, perched chicken liver, and Bruffins, club, ham, and turkey.
Oh, my goodness, I thought you'd say that. Join Steve
and Tommy
at Spartanburg's Beacon Drive-In, open Thanksgiving Day, 1946 by John White, located on John White Boulevard.
Is it time for the Spartans?
Welcome.
Yes, I knew it.
To today's broadcast of USC Upstate Baseball.
My Big South boy.
We join this Spartan squad as they chase a Big South championship. USC Upstate Baseball is presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call Chris Foster Heating and Air. 809-4836. Now, for the Beacon Drive-In pregame show here on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Your voice of the Spartans, Ryan Cleary.
It's the last day of May, and we're still playing baseball. Welcome in to USC Upstate Baseball here on Fox Sports Spartanburg 98.3 FM as we are live in Clemson, South Carolina at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. It is day 2 of regional weekend, and the USC Upstate Spartans have found ourselves in an elimination game. We will be taking on, from the Southeastern Conference, the Kentucky Wildcats. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Beacon Drive-In pregame show. Brett Sugart is our studio host alongside Joe Skinner. I'm Ryan Clary. Glad to be with you on this Saturday. What a game last night. I cannot tell you how much fun we had. In fact, I don't know in my entire life if I've enjoyed a loss more. 3-3 going into the bottom of the 8th inning against the 1 seed, the Clemson Tigers. USC Upstate fell 7-3. Thanks to Cam Canarella doing his thing. I think we've all agreed as the rest of the country, Joe Skinner, that Cam Canarella from here on out is deemed ineligible.
I don't need to see him anymore.
I think that's fair. I mean, it's just too clutch late in game. Time and time again, he's hit the NCAA mark. You're not allowed to be that clutch anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. He was brilliant last night. Tip of our cap to him. And we got a lot of tip of the caps last night from Clemson fans after the game. They thoroughly, while hating us for 3 hours afterward, gave us the utmost respect. And I really took a sense of pride in that hate last night. To have 6,000 Tiger fans groaning and upset and angry and cheering very, very loudly and intently in that game, I view as a massive respect card from them. They did not treat this like it was just a 4 seed. They were worried. They were very scared, and we did that, and our boys did that, and our coaching staff did that. Now we've got to do it again and find a way to turn that fear into a W against the Kentucky Wildcats. And Joe went over all the numbers in the Upstate tailgate in their losing streak. This is still a team in the SEC. This is still a team that has every player on a scholarship, getting a collective. We don't have that at our level. It's a different level in the SEC, and we're going to have to play our best baseball today behind the arm of sophomore Chris Torres, who gets the start on this elimination day. The atmosphere in our dugout was a little different this morning. The guys are a little tired, but they're 20, they're 19, they're 21 years old. They'll find that energy. But we understand what's at stake today. This has been an absolute blast of a year. These guys have really enjoyed playing together. This is a fun team. It's not a cliquish group. They all hang out together. They enjoy playing ball together, and they understand what's at stake here. And you can't help naturally but to be a little nervous when it comes to that. Kentucky is going through the same thing. It's been a difficult year for those guys, but they understand what's at stake here. Whoever can put some pressure on the other one early might find themselves on the winning side on this Saturday afternoon. It's our goal to stay alive in the Clemson Regional today at Doug Kingsmore Stadium, and we'll break it down and have our batting order brought to you by Bowling Spring Sports Cards when we come back. It will not be a crowd of 6,000 today, but there's a lot of blue in here, and a lot of Spartan fans are still making their way in, and we've got you covered right here on Fox Sports Spartanburg 98.3 FM.
Hey, Steve and Tommy here from Spartanburg's world-famous Beacon Drive-In. Tommy, what do you think our customers enjoy most at the Beacon?
Cheddar cheeseburger, hash, and sliced pork, plantain, fried chicken, blunder, chicken stew, chef salad, perched chicken liver, and brussels, club, ham, and turkey.
Oh, my goodness, I thought you'd say that. Join Steve
and Tommy
at Spartanburg's Beacon Drive-In, open Thanksgiving Day, 1946 by John White, located on John White Boulevard.
Spartan Waste is putting trash in its place in Spartanburg County. Spartan Waste is your locally owned trash collection company, keeping your community clean. Do your part by visiting spartan-waste.com to make sure your trash is picked up on time every time. And when we say Spartan Waste is locally owned, we mean the owners, Mark Nelson and Mark Mullen, are on the job every day, keeping the Spartanburg community where they work and live clean for their families and yours. Keep it clean with Spartan Waste.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back. With products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason, to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax. Because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyler Sugar, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite places to eat in Spartanburg, and that's Grill 221 in Roebuck. They have the best burgers on the highway. Go by and try my personal favorite, the pimento cheeseburger. Hey, here's a secret. Add bacon to it. Makes it even better. They got a lot of great sandwiches, burgers, wraps, open-faced roast beef, and they got great sides, hand-cut french fries, tater tot, all kind of great stuff at Grill 221 in Roebuck, 4795 South Church Street Extension. They have the best burgers on the highway.
I'm John Hawkins. If you've been injured in a car accident, call all threes.
Call all threes.
If I'm injured in a car accident, I'm calling all threes.
Visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville or call all threes.
3333333 Hawk Law.
This is John Hawkins with Hawk Law. It's easier than ever to call us at all threes or visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville.
I'm calling all threes.
I'm calling Hawk Law.
3333333 Hawk Law.
For nearly 2 decades.
These are the guys. They're how I end every workday.
The sports voice of Spartanburg County has been right here. Weekdays at 3 p.m. It's Open Mic, talking everything local, from USC Upstate to the biggest high school football and basketball games in the region. Don't miss a moment of Open Mic with Ryan Cleary, Joe Skinner, and Anthony Greer every weekday beginning at 3 on Fox Sports Spartanburg 98.3. Presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air. Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg is brought to you by Chris Foster Heating and Air. Chris Foster Heating and Air. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. Now back to Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg.
USC Upstate will start Chris Torres today. Sophomore left-hander making his 16th start of the year. We'll go over inside his numbers coming up a little bit later on. Kentucky will go with the senior right-hander, number 5, Nick McKay. He was the starter we thought they would go with. They did not tell us. A lot of times coaches will exchange, starting pitchers and kind of help each other out a little bit when you play each other. That's just kind of common courtesy. That didn't happen last night, and that's not a knock on Kentucky. I'm not knocking them at all. It just did not happen last night. But McKay will get the start. He's who Coach Sweeney thought would start, so they were preparing for him today. The senior right-hander making his 15th start of the year. He has a 5-0 record, a 4.37 earned run average through 68 innings. He's given up 50 hits, 33 runs, 66 strikeouts to 38 walks, and opponents are hitting .202 off the senior right-hander, number 5, Nick McKay. Joe Skinner, as they play the Upstate video right now, we'll send out the same batting order brought to you by Bowling Spring Sports Cards. Joe, give us that lineup here in Game 2 for Upstate in the Clemson Regional.
Leading off the first inning, as he has a lot of first innings, Henry Zehner is leading off and playing left field. Vance Shaham bats second. He's the shortstop. Scott Campbell in the 3 spot, playing in right field. Johnny Sweeney is the cleanup man. Hit a home run last night. He's the DH. Batting fifth, Scott Newman, also with a home run last night. Batting fifth. He had a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs. Then it's going to be Preston Lucas batting sixth. Another start for him, his 53rd start as the catcher, batting sixth. Gage Griggs batting seventh and playing second base. Jake Armsey batting eighth and playing first. And batting ninth is the lefty Alex Ritzer at third.
So same lineup as yesterday. And again, we're going to see a right-hander who has an opposing batting average against Joe of just .202. We can go inside all the numbers that really matter. I don't know if there's a bigger number right now than this .202 batting average against over 68 innings. Nick McKay does not allow a lot of base runners, Joe.
No, he doesn't, and he's got really good stuff, 66 strikeouts, 38 walks. So he's not the most overwhelming power pitcher. There's going to be balls in play, 66 strikeouts over 68 innings, but just 38 walks as well. So he keeps it in the zone, not the most overwhelming type of power pitcher, kind of like what West Virginia is going to see tonight in Aiden Kanak, who's going to rack up the strikeouts. But this is a guy who's a transfer from South Dakota State. He's done it for a long time. He's a veteran. He's been in college baseball since 2019 and is going to be facing an Upstate lineup that is eager to get things started today and get a win here in this NCAA tournament.
And, of course, earlier we announced it. Big news today out of Kentucky. Their freshman all-conference shortstop type player. He didn't make all-conference team, but he's an all-conference type of player. Their leadoff hitter, number 6, Tyler Bell, is not playing today. He fouled a ball off his knee yesterday, finished the game out, but it swole up after the game. He cannot cut today. There is a chance that he could pitch hit later possibly, but he will not start today. So defensively, they'll start Caius Gargett over at short today. The sophomore hitting .281 will bat 8. Bell is their leadoff hitter. Luke Lawrence, their 2-hole hitter, will slide up to the leadoff spot. Their second baseman, and they'll play Ryan Schwartz in right field. He'll bat second. So a very different lineup, which is not uncommon for these guys. They have not hit the ball very well, so they've been tinkering with their lineup a good bit. 24 different lineups over their past 25 games. So it's not uncommon for them, but Tyler Bell has been a consistent starter for those guys. Their top hitter, and really their all-around best player, in my opinion, not in the lineup today for the Wildcats, Joe.
And he's just a freshman. SEC all-freshman team in the leadoff spot of a team that was just in Omaha, and he's taken that in stride and had a great season. It's going to be a big loss, especially as this lineup gets a little thin towards the bottom. where Chris Torres can maybe take advantage of some holes in this lineup. But not having Tyler Bell is going to be a really big deal for this Kentucky team. They're not going to have their tone setter at the top of the lineup.
Chris Torres again gets the start today, an 8-4 record. He has started every weekend of the season for USC Upstate. He'll get the start here in Game 2 of this regional at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. A 12:06 start time today scheduled. Upstate will fight for their 2025 season lives here, taking on from the SEC the Kentucky Wildcats. We'll take a break in just a moment. We'll come right back, and we'll wrap up the Beacon Drive-In pregame show here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. You're listening to Upstate Baseball.
Chris Foster puts his first and last name on his business, and that means something. Chris Foster Heating and Air has served Spartanburg and surrounding areas for well over a decade, and they proudly use Rheem heating and cooling products. Rheem stands behind their products, offering a 10-year parts warranty. If you need a heating and cooling system, need repairs to an existing system, or gas appliance installation, call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836.
Gerhardt's has been in business on the east side of Spartanburg for over 30 years, serving up delicious and authentic Austrian and German cuisine. Today, Gerhardt's continues the legacy of their founder, Gerhard Gromer. Check this out. They have a new and improved beer garden featuring 10 new draft beers and over 75 beers from Austria, Germany, and around the world. Plus, if you're a soccer fan like me, come to the beer garden and watch international soccer matches on their new HD TVs and enjoy an artisan pizza from Gerhardt's Pizza Kitchen. Gerhardt's, a Spartanburg landmark since 1993.
Upstate's leader for custom drive shafts and high-performance racing. But did you know Carolina Driveline also specializes in agricultural and industrial equipment? Carolina Driveline can keep your equipment moving so you're never down for long. And when the work weekends, Carolina Driveline's 37 years of experience can deliver the best in off-road racing and 4x4 solutions. Whether it's your workday equipment, your everyday car, or your weekend 4x4, Carolina Driveline is your high-performance solution. Find out more at carolinadriveline.com.
Man, Clary, you've got a killer collection of old games.
Yeah, I just wish I had more time to play them, though, man. They're just sitting around here collecting dust.
Well, you know you can get good money for them at the Game Garage.
Wait, I do what?
Yeah, man, the Game Garage is a new, locally owned gaming store in town, and they will pay good money for old games and gaming systems. They'll even give you a fair deal, unlike that other place.
Man, that sounds great, dude. Where are they located?
Right off Pine Street, behind Wade's, next to the Subway.
Awesome! All right, one more game and take my ball, and then let's go sell some games.
Sounds good to me. I'm Bo Jackson.
Oh, come on!
Hey, this is Lance Robinson with 365 Grilling and Seafood. We have been at our same location in Spartanburg for 2 years at 749 John B. White Boulevard, and our food truck has been rolling for the past 4 years. Our family-owned business loves to give back to the community.
Hey, Dad, is 365 going to be mine one day?
Yes, son. You will be taking over our $5 fish sandwich Wednesdays and our Thursday wing specials and our soul food Sundays, son.
Dad, I'm a bear cook daddy right now.
Son, we need to talk.
Hey, this is Ryan Clary. You're listening to USC Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg 98.3 FM, SpartanburgSportsRadio.com, or be sure to download the Fox Sports Spartanburg app.
First pitch is just moments away. Let's get back out to the stadium in USC Upstate Baseball. Presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Here is your voice of the Spartans, Ryan Clary.
Wrapping up the Beacon Drive-In pregame show live from Clemson, South Carolina. At Doug Kingsmore Stadium, we are ready to go. It is Game 2 for the USC Upstate Spartans in the Clemson Regional, and hopefully not the last. Our first ever trip to the Division I NCAA tournament got off to an amazing start. We didn't win, but we played a brilliant game against the Tigers. Lost 7-3. It was tied at 3 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. USC Upstate was back behind the arm of Amp Phillips last night, who was brilliant. Will need an equally, if not better, start today from Chris Torres. The sophomore left-hander has been so consistent for us all season long, but it starts at the plate. Upstate, the visitors today, will send the same 9 to the lineup. Joe Skinner, let's, while we're here, let's go get a dub.
I mean, the umpires showed up. The other team showed up. I'm told that there are 9 innings here to play. So if we're going to play and they're going to keep score,
might as well
just win.
Might as well. Let's see what happens. This should be fun. Coaches meeting with the umpire at home plate. They'll wrap it up. 4 umpires today. 4 guys I've never heard of. Let's go to work. Upstate huddling up around Kane Sweeney. He had them all jacked up yesterday. He was flying around that huddle early on, which is, I don't want to say not like him. He's a very fiery coach, but he was really revved up, had him revved up today. Today, it does seem like the team's a little bit calmer. I think coming off a loss, I would say the same exact thing about Kentucky. They look a lot calmer. It's also Saturday morning. It was a quick turnaround for our guys. I think who can jump on the other one early, that will be so crucial in this one today. We've got to find a way to score first in this ball game. We'll be at the plate first. Maybe we can get it done against a very good senior right-hander, number 5, Nick McKay.
Yeah, Nick McKay, as he said, not a lot of walks. This is one of their guys who's been in the rotation all season long, 5-0, hasn't taken a losing decision in the SEC for a team that went 13-17 is pretty impressive. It's going to be a challenge today, but Kentucky is, I think, kind of in a similar situation. Obviously, they look across and see a 4 seed in the other dugout there, but Kentucky was leading yesterday and just kind of let that slip away. I think the thing I'm saying to Upstate today is, just like yesterday, we've come back from much, much worse deficits. And Kentucky was up 3-0 yesterday on West Virginia, let that slip away. And to keep the pressure on defensively, they made 2 errors yesterday. And our defense has been great now for a few weeks. To get the ball in play, not as many strikeouts. Not that we struck out a ton last night in general. I think outside of McGovern, just 4 strikeouts. It's going to be a big day today. It's going to be a challenging game. A team from the SEC is never easy, and but I think Upstate, like you said, there's still kind of some quiet swagger to this team that we saw yesterday.
Kentucky in their home, all white uniforms, blue hats, blue numbers. Upstate in their road, black uniforms with the white numbers, gray pants, black hats. We're about ready to go. Kentucky will take the field here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Had a blast last night with some Clemson fans who sat in front of us. They were really kind to us after the game. I'm hoping the Kentucky fans are just too mad to talk to us after this one. That's my goal here. Good number of Upstate fans over behind the third base dugout. See some other Upstate fans scattered about the area, representing our college really well last night. That was so great to see. So many ex-players here last night was just awesome to see. But our first look at Nick McKay on the mound. Again, a 5-0 record on the season. The opponents are only hitting .202 off this young man. There was a debate whether or not they would go with McKay or Nate Harris, the freshman right-hander, but McKay wins out. He's the veteran, and it's an elimination game for those guys. Not surprised he gets the nod here.
I think there is a case to be made about mixing up your starters when you don't have a loss in a regional like Clemson did yesterday, but when your back's against the wall and you have a lineup in Upstate that can hit the way they can, you cannot mess around if you're Nick Vinciani. You got to throw what you consider to be the best you got, and right now it's Nick McKay.
Upstate hitting .317 as a team this season. Just incredible. And, Campbell went 0 for 4 yesterday, so I'm thinking 5 for 5 today.
Yeah, feels right.
I'm just saying. Warm-up toss is finishing up. Henry Zener will lead things off in just a moment. Zener 1 for 4 yesterday, was hit by a pitch. He only reached base twice. See, when it's 3 times. It's a magic number.
3 times.
When it's 3 times. When it's 3. Well, I want to appreciate everybody tuning in all season long. Hopefully we'll have a game tomorrow, maybe a game tomorrow night, maybe Monday. I don't know how this will all work down, but I really do appreciate it all year. And it starts with our sponsors, man. Thank you guys so much for your support of Upstate Athletics. Upstate Baseball brought to you by Chris Foster Heating and Air. He was texting me this morning saying, man, he was on his edge of his seat last night. Tom from Carolina Driveline saying he was on the edge of his seat last night. I hope you guys know here at Fox Sports Spartanburg and USC Upstate how much we do appreciate you guys. Y'all make it happen for us. And to our listeners, please go out and support our sponsors, man. They make this happen. I talked to so many of you who are very grateful that we do this, especially for Upstate Baseball. You're welcome. We love doing it. Our sponsors make it happen. So here we go. Henry Zener will step in the box. Tell the camera guy to get out of there. Let's go to work. Ready to play some ball. Home plate umpire Randy Rosenberg says, let's go.
I looked it up. The home plate umpire that caused some issues yesterday is at third, so I'm not going to worry about that.
Fair enough.
He had a low zone yesterday.
In the first game?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. Woo. First one bounces up there. That's too low even for him. And we're underway here in Game 2 for USC Upstate, our second ever NCAA tournament game. McKay winds and the 1-0 to Zener. In there for a strike.
Yeah, I'm not a great guesstimator on crowds, but if last night was 6,000, tonight might be 1,300. Today, 1,500?
Yeah, 13, 15. Fastball at 93 for McKay, the 1-1. All speed down, 2-1. Saw Kane's parents here. They're all revved up today. Zener slaps one into left field. That thing's got a ton of bend on it. It's got them spinning around out there, and a diving grab by Hage over his shoulder, and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, what a grab, and there's one down. Wow.
That was an unbelievable catch from Hage. That ball is tailing away. You said it had that lefty spin, and he's running up on the hill. That was not well played at all, but that is an unbelievable catch to take away extra bases.
That would have been an easy double for Zener. Instead, there's one away here in the first. Here's Vance Shahan. He singled in the first yesterday. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it out of play down the right side. Let's hope it's not that type of day, Joe.
There were a couple taken away from us yesterday.
Wind hand the 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1.
47 consecutive games with an on-base for Vance.
Is that good?
That's a long time.
Checking my math. Carry the 2. Square root. Upstairs, 2-1. Check swing. It wasn't close.
That gets you back to like
carry
Troy.
The 2. Got to carry. It is high. It is high.
Yep, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's like back to Troy. He's so good, man. Tony, if he goes 0-2 in his first 2 at-bats, he's getting a hit. Joe, I'm telling
trouble.
You, yep. that was coming at you, brother.
That was trouble.
That missed you by 3 feet.
I don't know why I've been a ball magnet this year. I don't appreciate it. I'd like to, whenever this season may end, I'd like to not have to take another scare.
You hit the doctor for that, brother, the 2-2. Curveball pull down the third base line is foul. I missed it.
He threw it anyways. It was foul, and he got it over there. You know, just in case he needs to throw it over by Kane.
McKay. Another 2-2 coming to Vance Shahan. Slider way off the plate and down. Check swing. The first base umpire just chuckles. And it's 3-2. First base coach Easton Cullison likes him the purple Powerade. We have plenty of that up here. So ran some down. He was like, my mood has changed. I'm all jacked up, he said. The 3-2 to Shahan. Line drive into center field and deep. Back near the track at the wall, leaping up and making the grab. This Hanson, the center fielder. We've hit 2 balls really hard and deep and have nothing to show for it.
I mean, those are both flyouts within 5 feet of the wall.
That ball was hammered.
They got the scattering cord on McKay. He's going to throw a lot of strikes, doesn't walk very many guys, doesn't throw overly hard. At least nothing we haven't seen before. They're on it. This is somebody you love to see break out today.
Scott Campbell at the plate, a .391 hitter. 0 for yesterday. That doesn't happen a lot. Boy, Shahan hit the fool out of that pitch. First pitch to the Spartan right fielder is off the plate and down 1-0.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, at Clemson, they only have orange and purple Powerade. What's that?
Yeah, what's that about? I'm telling you, man, we're a couple of feet one way or the other from having a runner on second and up 1-0 with nobody out here. We have squared up a couple. Keep that going. 1-0 pitch coming to Scott Campbell. That's a good curve. Best pitch he's thrown today in there for a strike, 1-1. Outfield playing Campbell just slightly to go the other way. And he does go the other way. He hits it hard to deep right center field, back at the wall, and making the grab is the right fielder, Schwartz. We gave all 3 outfielders a long run. Nothing to show for it, but we hit the ball on a collective, Joe, 1,000 feet?
Yeah, it felt like it.
In the first inning, holy smokes. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's keep it right here. Batting order for Kentucky brought to you by Bowling Springs Sports Cards. The best selection of autographed memorabilia anywhere in our county is at Bowling Springs Sports Cards.
The new leadoff hitter for Kentucky today with Tyler Bell out is Luke Lawrence. He's playing second base. Ryan Schwartz up to second. He's in right field. Cole Hage bats third in left field. James McCoy's a switch hitter batting cleanup. He plays first. The center fielder is a lefty. Carson Henson batting fifth. Patrick Herrera bats sixth. Plus third base. The DH is Hudson Brown. He's batting seventh. Batting eighth is the new shortstop, Caius Gargett. And batting ninth is the catcher, Devin Burks, facing Upstate starter Chris Torres.
Making his 16th start of the year, an 8-4 record, a 4.72 earned run average through 76 and a third innings, giving up 89 hits, 40 runs, 75 strikeouts to 27 walks. Opponents are hitting .288 off the 5'11", 185-pound sophomore from West Springfield, Massachusetts, number 23, Chris Torres, who his best pitch show has been a slider. Kentucky hits sliders very well. He'll have to find something else today that's his go-to out pitch, in my opinion. It can be that changeup of his, especially to right-handers. It's a really good one.
Yeah, again, kind of similar to McKay in certain ways where, he throws a lot of pitches. The fastball isn't overly fast, but throws a lot of off-speed and does a really good job keeping hitters off balance. He's going to have to do that today against the lineup where we talked about it yesterday with the SID from Kentucky. They've had 5 season-ending injuries on this roster, so you're looking at the lineup they roll out today. 5 of their guys that are in the lineup for Kentucky haven't started 30 games this season. So not inexperienced, because no one's inexperienced at this point of the season, but it's a lot of guys. The lineup changes all the time. And in an elimination game where tensions are a little high, and things can go off kilter very quickly.
Luke Lawrence will lead things off, the junior second baseman, a .293 hitter, 4 home runs, 35 runs driven in, 11 stolen bases this season. And again, I talked about it earlier in the Upstate Tailgate brought to you by Carolina Driveline. It's important to get the first out of the inning before they get somebody on base. I think against a team like this who wants to run as much as they do, we've got to find a way to get the leadoff guys on, or get the leadoff guys off each and every inning. That's so crucial to put some zeros on the scoreboard. Man, did we square up 3 balls in the first inning, but all went for outs. To be honest with you, I'd take the same result. I just want 3 up, 3 down. Lefty on lefty matchup. One of 3 left-handed bats in the lineup today for Kentucky, and he swings at the first pitch. Doesn't hit it that hard, but finds a hole into center. That's about right. We crank 3 for an out, and he just punches one out to center for a base hit.
Now this is where they get dangerous. Runner on, fastball first pitch. Lawrence didn't miss it. Get runners on base. They'll let it rip. And they watched last night. Upstate did not catch any runners stealing, so they're going to be very aggressive.
Ryan Schwartz, the freshman right fielder, starting his 16th game of the year, 1 home run, 11 RBIs, a .333 hitter. Lawrence leads away at first. Torres, the lefty, will throw over quite a bit. And there's a ground ball to short. This could be 2. Sheehan, Griggs, Armsy, a 6-4-3 double play. 2 pitches, 2 outs. See, that's what we were doing, Joe. To turn a double play, you have to let a guy get on. That's just the style there.
It's cat and mouse game, really, is what we're doing.
It's well done. Here's Cole Hage. He's good. .316 hitter. Tops on the team with 12 home runs this season. Just 39 RBIs for the senior left fielder. Cole's a pretty big dude. Stands in from the right side. He hit a boatload of home runs in BP today. His slider for a strike.
His old team was one of the 4 seeds to win yesterday. Columbia. 3-time first-team All-Ivy.
How about it?
At Columbia.
Yeah, big win. They dominated Southern Miss, the 0-1. Slider inside, check swing. No, says first base umpire John Brammer. Brammer likes lemon pepper wings. I don't like lemon pepper wings. I like Asian wings, barbecue wings, teriyaki wings, hot wings. I don't like lemon pepper. I'm not down with that. 1-1, swung on and miss. You like lemon pepper wings, Joe?
I do like lemon pepper wings. Was that a reference? That went right over my head. I don't know what that. Okay.
Just pointing out he likes lemon pepper wings.
move on.
We're not on the same page.
No.
When I go to Wings, etc., I get the teriyaki, that Asian zing type thing. Oh, it's so good. I'm starving now. 1-2 pitch from Torres. A check swing off himself. He doesn't know where to throw it. There you go. Hage picked it up. Nope. I'll throw it over here. Ball and 2 strikes. Somebody on 2 down. Bottom of the first. Hage, who also likes barbecue wings, sees a 1-2. Bounce up there, 2-2. Pacers and Knicks play? Or did they play last night? I'm telling you, I don't know.
I think it's tonight.
It's tonight? Go to Wings, etc., or watch the game. I don't know who's playing.
I don't know what else is happening in the world.
I have no clue what's happening right now. 2-2 from Torres. Just look out, Kentucky dugout. That ball's ripped over there. Late on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Torres.
Gas.
Wind blowing in at the moment. Maybe that's why we didn't hit 3 dingers in the first. Another 2-2 coming from Torres. Hit him. And that ball hit him, Joe, and shot up high into the air and then off the net. Hage, who launches his bat, look out, and then says, my bad.
That's turf. It's going to bounce.
He launched his bat towards his dugout out of anger. It bounced and almost hit a teammate. And then he looked over and said, my bad. I think that ball hit him right on the knee.
Yeah, he just pointed at the outside of his left knee. He's a right-handed hitter. And it was a little bit of a delayed kind of going down and got him. But now that he's going to take some time to walk it off.
Well, he probably took a step and it buckled on him.
Yeah.
And he launched his bat. And that could have been really bad. He immediately looked at his team, was like, my bad.
He kind of threw the bat on its end. It wasn't like a flip. He took the cap of the bat and threw it, and it bounced off the turf and took like 2 hard bounces towards the coach. Everyone's like, whoa, chill out, man.
Now the third base coach has come over and said, I actually want to see you run.
Ooh, yeah, right on the outside of the kneecap with the slider. That'll hurt.
Thank goodness it was just a slider. I think straight into the air, too. Nick Mingione, the third base coach, came over and said, no, you need to run, and made him run, and he's all right. And it'll bring James McCoy to the plate, the first baseman. Junior cleanup hitter, a .290 hitter, just 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Not your typical cleanup hitter. Runner at first, 2 down. And there's a strike from Torres. Hage, while he didn't look at 15 stolen bases on the season. It's a team high.
McCoy at the plate, one of the few guys that are recognized from last year. He played in all 3 games in that season opening series at Harley Park.
0-1 up and in.
2 for 8 in the series.
None of those hits were against Chris Torres.
No.
There goes a runner. 1-1 popped up right side, foul territory, and it'll get out of play. Hage broke on first move there. As soon as Torres lifted that leg up, Torres will throw over.
He's been the one that's had some troubles with throwing it away. I mean, it's been a lot of guys, but Torres is the one that kind of baffles me. I mean, I get it's not easy to pick off. It's hard to play baseball, but you're staring at the guy.
It's pretty good lead. Looks like he's going to go again. There he goes. 1-2 is hit into center field. Will it stay up? It will not. It'll drop in front of Scott Newman. Hage, who was on the move, will round second. He'll head over to third. Second hit of the inning. A 2-out single by McCoy. And runners are at the corners with 2 down for Carson Hansen, the center fielder. Joe, they haven't hit it that hard.
No, they really haven't. Just that leadoff hit was a line drive up the middle that ended up getting doubled up. But, yeah, that's a bloop in front of center field, and Newman was playing pretty far back, just like yesterday, trying to throw up his euro in the first and get through the first inning.
Just get through the first.
Calm the tension a little bit.
Get through the first here. Carson Henson, junior center fielder, the left-hander, hitting .241 on the year. McCoy 6 for 6 in the stolen base department. Again, Kentucky's going to run, and they're going to run a lot. First pitch from Torres. In the air, deep to left field. Zener back near the track at the wall. It's gone. Kentucky leads 3-0. Opposite field home run against the wind by Carson Hansen. His 7th of the year. And the Wildcats strike first. I'm telling you, that first inning, man. Oh, that first inning. All of this with 2 outs for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that one hurts. That's a fastball that's way too much plate, and like you said, goes against the wind. That's actually a little bit on the outer half. That's just a really good piece of hitting there, and takes it up into about the 5th row. Out into the left field grandstand, and yeah, 2-out RBIs are always killers, and especially in elimination games, those are the at-bats you can look back on if things don't go your way. Say, man, if we just could have gotten out of that inning.
Here's Patrick Herrera, the third baseman. Senior hitting .288. Takes one upstairs, 1-0. Again, you're playing a team that has a bunch of guys who not only have scholarships, they're getting paid. It's just a different level right now, and you've got to – every pitch is just so big because, I mean, there was nobody on 2 out, and they were like, no problem. And it's just different. And that's what you have to compete against. That's what you have to build up against. That's what it takes years to build up when you're at our level to be able to compete, and we can do it. And we showed it last night that we're here. We can do it. 2-0 is down 3-0. I mean, it's there for us to be able to be a team that can compete, but you see what happens. You make a mistake with 2 outs, it turns into 3 runs just like that against a team like this. You say, oh, they're 13-17 in the SEC. I'm sorry, in what conference again? What's that? Rio pitch off the plate, ball 4. 4 straight have reached here, the 5th to reach this inning. You're looking at their averages. Oh, they hit .266. I'm sorry, against what conference again? What pitching again? It's just different. Hudson Brown, the designated hitter, will stand in. Freshman hitting .252. Hudson played infield one of the first games of the year and booted it around like 3 times in one game. And they said, maybe you'll DH.
Yeah, well, I'll take that glove.
Yeah.
You'll get it back at the end of the year.
Throw over to first. Herrera 12 for 15 in the stolen base department. So 3-0 Wildcats here in the bottom of the first inning. Lefty on lefty matchup. The pitch from Torres. Slider catches the top of the zone. 0-1. Runner at first, 2 down. Torres trying to get out of this first inning. Will snap, though, over to first. Not a lot of juice on it.
Getting into the bottom of the order here. Got to find a way to stop the bleeding.
Torres set. There goes the runner. We throw it over to first. Armsy will fire it to second and throws it into left field. The base runner has base runner slid in, gave the safe sign, and his head coach is screaming at him. Quit showing off and look. A good throw when he was meat.
Yeah, and that, Armsy kind of came off the bag and cut down the distance, needed a quick throw. And maybe rushed it a little bit. Took Vance off the bag.
My favorite as he slid in was like, look at me! And they were like, look! Big lead out at second. 0-1, fouled off the end of the bat, 0-2. But again, they're going to run. I mean, this is what they do. They're going to run, they're going to run, they're going to run. Oh, 0-2 to Hudson Brown, the DH. Torres doesn't look at second, fires the 0-2. It's a slider low and away. That was pitch number 21 for Torres.
Yeah, it's now you got to obviously get out of this inning first and then think about how you want to approach the rest of this game pitching-wise.
Torres looks back at second, the 1-2. Way outside, 2-2. Torres averages right about a strikeout per inning. It'll be tough to get strikeouts today against these guys. This is not a team who strikes out a ton. Torres is 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. There you go. Torres with this first strikeout of the inning, but a lot of two-out damage. A two-out hit by pitch, a two-out single, and a two-out three-run home run by Carson Henry has put Kentucky on top 3-0. We go to the top of the second.
Baseball. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs here.
You can't have one without the other. With professional baseball back in Spartanburg, you need a premium hot dog to turn to this season. It's Frank's for the Memories. Premium all-beef hot dogs with their delicious chili, or a foot-long hot dog, or slaw dog. They're all in the lineup at Frank's for the Memories. Try them all with a side of chili cheese fries, tater tots, or onion rings. Slide on into Frank's for the Memories for lunch today. 470 Oak Grove Road near the West Side Library.
Bowling Springs Sports Cards is Upstate, South Carolina's #1 hobby shop. They have the largest selection of sports trading cards, Pokemon, and more. Bowling Springs Sports Cards is an official Fanatics Direct hobby shop. If you're looking to buy or sell baseball cards or any other sports card, go by Bowling Springs Sports Cards. They have hosted the largest cards and collectible shows in South Carolina for the last 5.5 years. Shows take place about every 2 months, and the dates for future shows can be found on their website at bowlingspringsportscards.com. Bowling Springs Sports Cards, 13041 Asheville Highway. Follow them on Instagram at bowlingsprings_sportscards.
This is USC Upstate Baseball, presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air.
Proudly using Ream Heating and Cooling Products. Call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. Foster was going to go to the Spartanburgers game last night. His first one. Got an emergency call, 4 o'clock. Can't go. He said, I can't go to the game. I got to go take care of my clients. Got to go help out folks who need it. Chris Foster's there for you, man. He was all excited. He was going to sit where Delaney sat. Nope. He had to go. Say, I got clients I got to take care of them.
Yeah. We don't just make things up. No nights, weekends, and holidays. Don't mess around.
No problem for Chris Foster. Johnny Sweeney homered yesterday. Followed it up with 3 strikeouts. He was not happy about it, but he said, boy, it did feel good to get one yesterday after that wrist injury. The pitch is down. It's been a bad wrist injury for Johnny, who has fought through it. And fought through it and fought through it. And the fact that he only missed a couple of games is just awesome. And that one bounced up and almost hit him. I've not been impressed with McKay early on here.
I mean, we've hit him hard 3 times. The pitches that have been in the zone have been barreled. Pitches that haven't been in the zone really haven't been close.
The 2-0. Off the plate, 3-0. I have no doubt that we can score runs today. Question is, can we keep them limited here? Down 3-0 in the second. See if Johnny gets the green light on this 3-0 count. And he takes one upstairs, a 4-pitch walk. First base runner of the day for Upstate. And it'll bring Scott Newman to the plate, one of the Carolina Driveline players of the game yesterday. Newman doubled off the right center field wall and homered off the batter's eye behind center. He hit it a long way in the 8th to tie it up.
And that was the first pitch. We're talking about, Malstead's been great this year, 15 saves, all the things. Before he could ever really think about what was happening on the field, Newman was going off the batter's eye.
I love Newman's quote to me last night about it. And, he takes a strike, thought it was up and in. Newman said, why not? You're coming in with all these saves. You're going to throw a first pitch in the zone. I'm going to swing at it. McKay delivers the 0-1. That one almost hit him, 1-1.
McKay's been a little wild in his first handful of pitches here. I mean, 20 pitches and only 9 strikes.
Sweeney leads away at first. 1 on, nobody out in the second. The 1-1 to Newman. Fastball outside corner at the kneecaps. That was a ball yesterday, Joe.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to get a feel for the strike zone here, and haven't really been around the zone enough to figure it out.
Now that was a touch off the plate Called a strike, which, by the way, was a ball to both teams yesterday, not just us. 1-2 to Newman. Swung on and missed. Good slider. Newman chased just off the plate a little bit. That was a nasty pitch. 1 down in the second.
Yeah, tons of movement on that pitch. Like I said, fastball's kind of been in the low 90s, but that one starts as a ball on the inside hip and ends up as a ball off the plate.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Here's Preston Lucas. Lucas hitting .337 on the season. 1 for 4 yesterday. And that single right down the third baseline. Back in the second, takes a strike. I think the catcher, Burks, thought that was low. He framed that for a while. It was called a strike. Upstate 36-24 this season. Big swing and a miss on a fastball, 0-2.
Yeah, Lucas had that single in his first at-bat, but after that, not a ton from him in yesterday's game against Clemson.
He's been so crucial. His 53rd start behind the plate this season. The 0-2 is down and in. And the fact that we've made it to this point in the season, Joe, and he's still healthy, is a modern miracle. Good job, Katie. Every game, pregame, he's going through this stretch routine with our trainer. She's been terrific. 1-2, weird swing there from Lucas. That ball broke a ton, and McKay is walking around like he's been drafted for Vietnam. I mean, he is revved up.
That was a ugly swing from Preston Lucas. He was backing up and trying to swing at the same time.
Look at McKay staring him down. Now, that ball was coming in on him, and Lucas kind of had a strange thought there. Gage Griggs punches one down the right field line. Long run for Swartz, and now he'll slow down. He'll make the grab. And Kentucky gets around the leadoff walk. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Wildcats.
Attention Upstate fans. Are you ready to secure your retirement with a team the Spartans trust? At Big Money Retirement Solutions, our seasoned financial professionals have been helping the Spartans craft winning financial game plans. When you're ready to join the winning team, we'll design a retirement strategy tailored to your goals. Call us today at 864-920-3155. Big Money Retirement Solutions, your winning play for a secure retirement.
Lunchtime is come and gone for today, but there'll be another lunchtime tomorrow, and that's where Bubba's Barbecue and Bash comes in. Bubba's has ribs for lunch every day. Bubba's also has great burgers, pulled pork, calabash chicken, all of your favorite sides, and some of the best sauce around. Sure, you're hungry now. Hang in. Lunchtime tomorrow will be here before you know it. Bubba's Barbecue and Bash, 827 West Blackstock Road, just a half mile from Westgate Mall. Have lunch at Bubba's tomorrow or dinner there tonight.
Back in Doug Kingsmore Stadium, it's a 3-0 Kentucky lead in the bottom of the second.
This is a big stretch of hitters for Chris Torres. Really the next 7 guys coming to the plate. Bottom 2 here, and then the top 5 coming up, hopefully more in the third than here in the second. But this is a big stretch. Can we keep this close? Can we keep this in striking distance? Or is Kentucky going to make this what happens to a lot of 4 seeds in game 2 after you throw your ace? A lot of these bigger teams who are 3 seeds tend to overpower you a little bit. It happens all the time in the NCAA tournament. We've talked about this. Our 3 seed in our regional is an SEC team. That's a nasty draw for a team like Upstate. There's no UTSA. There's no Cincinnati. Good teams, but there's no break. And we'll have to find a way to keep some zeros on the board. Cayuse Gargett will lead things off, the sophomore, hitting .281 from the right side, a switch hitter. And he takes a backdoor slider off the plate, 1-0. Torres always from the stretch. 1-0. There's a ground ball right to Vance Shahan at short. Gobbles it up. Over to first. 1 down in the second.
Kind of get the leadoff guy. Did that Couldn't do it in the last inning, got the double play to the second batter, but yeah, just a quick, seamless inning here. Just things are not completely unspiraling, obviously, but you can get in a position where they can unspiral pretty fast.
Here's Devin Burks, the senior catcher. We saw him last year at Upstate. Not a good year for him, hitting just .219. He's got more pop than those 5 home runs show. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's a fastball up and away.
He was a preseason All-SEC first-team catcher. Just hasn't really lived up to it this year.
One-0 from Torres. Slider catches the corner. Ball and a strike. Good pitch. Right-handed hitting Devin Burks. Nobody on, one down in the second. Good changeup, swung on and missed. Good pitch by Torres, 1-2.
Yeah, I think that's obviously the pitch that's going to be affected the most by the blisters we've been talking about, but that's the go-to pitch. When he's in trouble or when he's ahead of the count, he can go back to that slider. He gets a lot of swings and misses on him.
See if he comes back with another change, a 1-2. He throws a curve and it's lifted in the air to right field. Scott Campbell coming in a couple of steps. He'll make the grab. And there's 2 away. He threw 4 different pitches to Devin Burks. And there's 2 down. It's the first curveball Torres has thrown today. And Burks did not get a lot. Here's the leadoff man, Luke Lawrence, who punched a single into center on the first pitch he saw his last time up. Good start to the inning for Torres. See if we can get a 1-2-3 right here. Torres, first pitch almost hit him, 1-0. Lawrence has been hit 16 times this season. It's behind Scott Campbell and Johnny Sweeney, but that's still a lot. Hitting into the air to center, towards right center. Newman, long run, a diving catch by Newman. Boy, for a second I thought he'll glide to it. Then I was like, that thing is just not bending back at all. And then Newman appears out of nowhere with a diving catch in a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the third, trailing 3-0.
If you're a sports fan, you probably have some jerseys and signed stuff laying around. We did too. You got to do what we did and get your valuables framed up nice at the Art Lounge, where Brandy has over 20 years experience in framing sports memorabilia, jerseys, and even newspapers, diplomas, and so much more. The Art Lounge is the National Small Business of the Year, so be sure to check out their local art, pottery, and jewelry too at the Art Lounge, Spartanburg's go-to store for Berg apparel as well. The Art Lounge, 1410 Skyland Drive in Spartanburg.
You already know Carolina Driveline is the Upstate's leader for custom drive shafts and high-performance racing. But did you know Carolina Driveline also specializes in agricultural and industrial equipment? Carolina Driveline can keep your equipment moving so you're never down for long. And when the work weekends, Carolina Driveline's 37 years of experience can deliver the best in off-road racing and 4x4 solutions. Whether it's your workday equipment, your everyday car, or your weekend 4x4, Carolina Driveline is your high-performance solution. Find out more at carolinadriveline.com.
Watching the spinny race, that Kentucky girl.
Dizzy bat. Yeah,
she went straight left. That was very funny.
She ran onto the field.
Well done. Our third inning brought to you by Hawklaw. Call all threes if you've been injured in a car wreck. Hawklaw wants to fight for you and give you the money you deserve. 333-3333. 8-9-1 due up for the Spartans. We trail by 3 runs off 3 hits for Kentucky. And it'll be number 3, Jake Armsey, at the plate. No hits for Upstate, just the 1 walk. But we've hit it hard. All in the first inning, 3 ropes to deep in the outfield. An amazing catch by Hage, the left fielder. This game could be very different if he doesn't make that grab. Armsey swings at the first pitch and fouls it over Joe Skinner's head, 0-1. Armsy, a 284 hitter. Fastball blown away, a ball and a strike.
Even with that injury, too, which that injury, that ankle injury, is no joke. He missed about a month, and he came back and he's hit at the bottom of the lineup. But it's been very productive, especially on defense.
Hits one over towards short. Gobbled up by Gargett over to first in time. And there's one down in the third. Alex Ritzer will stand in. Junior third baseman hitting .236 on the year, 3 home runs. And number 3 came on Championship Saturday in the Big South Tournament.
Played good defense in that tournament as well at third base. Made a crazy catch in foul territory.
Reached base twice yesterday, once on a hit by pitch, once on a walk. A perfect fastball at the knees for strike one. That's a good pitch. Fouled out of play. Ritz's family here. His dad wears the same North Carolina hat every day. Same one. Yeah, that's say got the Upstate shirt and the Tar Heel hat every day.
I'm sure he's smirking, walking around Clemson in his North Carolina hat, too.
0-2 curve down in the dirt. Alex is such a good dude, man. We've had a lot of fun chit-chatting throughout the year. 1-2. Backdoor curve not there, 2-2. Shift on in the infield. Gargett, the shortstop, playing right behind the second base bag. 2-2 to Ritzer. Swung on and missed. Slider down and in.
He's found his groove now. Nick McKay, that slider has been nasty. I think all 3 of his strikeouts have been on that pitch.
McKay walks so much after a strikeout. It's right near second base.
Just getting ready to say, on that ground out to short, he was running over to back up first and nearly ran into Jake Armsy, who was trying to run down. He's giving off big psycho reliever energy right now.
Henry Zener, who smashed one to left and a diving catch by Hage in the first, stands in. He takes a strike.
Have you ever seen a pitcher try and back up first base on a ground ball in the infield? It doesn't happen.
To me, it bothers me. I played for a guy who would tell our pitchers to stand still. Quit wasting all your energy. 0-1, top of the zone, outside corner. Boy, wider strike zone today than either one yesterday. 0-2 to Zener. Curveball slapped down the left field line, slicing foul, and that guy catch that?
Catch it? Did he get it?
I don't think so. No one clapped.
Oh, he doesn't have it. They put him on TV. He was on the phone. Tried a one-hander on the phone.
Ground ball towards second. Gobbled up on a bad hop by Lawrence over to first in a 1-2-3 inning for McKay. We go to the bottom of the third. Wildcats on top 3-0.
Most restaurant menus are engineered by a bunch of guys in suits sitting around a boardroom, not at Wings, etc. Heck, I'm not even sure if these fellas own a suit. They're simple people who know what you want. That's why they've got daily specials like 79-cent boneless and 99-cent traditional wings on Mondays, 89-cent tenders on Tuesdays, and 69-cent fried shrimp on Wednesdays. They also have weekday specials on margaritas as well as a wide selection of ice-cold beers. Keep it simple and stop by Wings, etc. in Boiling Springs, open daily at 11 a.m.
Chris Foster puts his first and last name on his business, and that means something. Chris Foster Heating and Air has served Spartanburg and surrounding areas for well over a decade, and they proudly use Rheem heating and cooling products. Rheem stands behind their products, offering a 10-year parts warranty. If you need a heating and cooling system, need repairs to an existing system, or gas appliance installation, call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836.
Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg is brought to you by Chris Foster Heating and Air. Chris Foster Heating and Air. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. Now back to Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg.
Bottom of the third we go, brought to you by Hawk Law. Call all threes if you've been injured in a car wreck. 3-0 Wildcats. in the bottom of the third inning. And a big inning right here, Joe Skinner. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Kentucky.
Yeah, this is the part of the order that, or at least 3, 4, and 5, that caused the issues back in that first inning. Kind of started with that hit by pitch, and then Torres starting getting tagged a little bit. Got to work through this part of the order with some soft contact. It was a clean second inning, 1, 2, 3, just like that.
Ryan Schwartz grounded into the 6-4-3 double play on the first pitch he saw in the first. Bottom of the third, need to keep some zeros on the board, trailing by 3. Torres had a good bottom of the second and a 3 up, 3 down, has retired 4 straight. And the first pitch, a little away, 1-0. Kane doing his TV interview on national TV right now. The 1-0 from Torres. Slider in there for a strike.
I've never had to do an in-game interview, obviously, but yeah, he did it yesterday when we were winning. I wonder if he's now or down, if it's a little more reserved. I mean, he's still kind of smiling and laughing on there, but because he knows we can come back from anything, and he's not afraid to say it.
The 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. A lot of off speed from Torres the last few batters. Has not thrown many fastballs at all. Almost trying to work backwards here. The 2-1. Big curve, swung on and missed, 2-2. Good pitch.
Yeah, I think you're going to keep seeing a lot of off speed, a lot of spin, a lot of that changeup, especially if the blister's going to be bugging him.
Torres always from the stretch, the 2-hole hitter, Ryan Schwartz at the plate. And that is foul tipped in the mid, strike 3. Good pitch by Torres. And again, another slider. And it's the second strikeout of the game for Chris, and there's 1 out in the third.
Yeah, elevated a little bit of heat there, and Schwartz he took a big swing at it, got under it.
It's a lot of sliders, though, man. That was 85. A lot of sliders, a lot of change-ups, some curveballs from Chris Torres. Ever since that home run, he's really approached this a little differently. Here's Cole Hage, who threw his bat just about as far as that ball bounced off his knee. And that one, goodness me.
Looked like a strike on the pitch.
Looked like a strike. I mean, okay. It's close. Wider zone selectively here. 1-0 pitch coming to Cole Hage, the 3-hole hitter. God, where's the pitch? That's not down. Golly, that looked good. The slider right at the knees. Holy smokes, dadgum, man. Randy Rosenberg, let's go. Got your battery on, man. Wake up. 2-0 pitch, that looked a little inside. But man, these are not missing by much.
No, they're not, and JCB's starting to say what he thinks from our dugout.
I don't blame him, man. Randy Rosenberg. I agree that third one was a ball, but it was still really close. But the first, it should be 1 and 2. Hage gets a 3-0 green light and foul tips it in the mitt. It was a fastball. First fastball he's thrown in a while. Dadgum, man. Three-1 pitch coming with nobody on and 1 out. Swung on and missed. Good slider down and in. 3-2. Nice job by Torres to come back.
Tied him up. I'd think about throwing that pitch again.
I would too.
I think Haig is really, really eager to take a big swing after he got hit by a pitch. I don't know if I'd put this pitch in the zone right here.
Boy, Hage is just talking to himself too. 3-2. And he fouled it back. Another slider. Actually, that was his curve. Hage and McKay look like they're about to go fight in an Ultimate Fighting Championship battle. I mean, they're just revved up as can be. Torres is one of the calmer human beings you'll ever meet in your life. Pitch number 44 coming from Chris. My goodness me. That's right there on the inside corner. I'm watching the monitor that time. It's right there.
It's been a big zone, and now we're just deciding to shrink it up.
That was tough to watch because 4 balls, all 4 of them could have been called strikes, especially the first 2. Man alive. Here's James McCoy. He blooped a single on a hit and run in the first. We talked about this inning right here in this part of the order. This is tough. Hage, who runs very well, is over at first with 1 down. And first pitch by McCoy is foul tipped back. Wildcats on top 3-0 on the Founders Federal Credit Union scoreboard. There are a good number of Clemson fans here. That's what I'm hoping, that if we can start to mount a little comeback here down 3-0, that they'll start to get vocal for us. The 0-1. Touchdown, 1-1. I'm fairly confident that guy over there is asleep, though.
Say, how big of a game do they have tonight?
Yeah, that's in my opinion, if Clemson wins that, it's over. And I don't know if they've got the pitching to come back through. I want to say the 1 seed would be out if they lose. That's down 2-1. They'd have to win 3 in a row. They have the capability of doing that at home. But if they win tonight, that this regional, in my opinion, would be done. I don't see them losing 2 back-to-back when everyone else would be out of pitching. The 2-1 pulled foul towards our dugout. That's a monster game tonight. And I said this earlier in the week. I think if they'd have thrown Kanak yesterday against us, I think I would have picked West Virginia to win. But when they made the switch, I said if they play in the winner's bracket, I'll take Clemson now. 2-2. We got it picked off at first, and Torres almost threw it away. Armsy had to reach way out for it, and when he got it in his glove, he reached down, the ball popped right out. And now we're getting a little careless here, Joe. That's the second play that we've made today where we should have a runner picked off, and we're getting a little sloppy, and we haven't played like this in a long, long time.
Yeah, no question. The at-bats haven't really been there, and now defensively letting these runners, I mean, like I say, Kentucky's not going to wait for us to let them run. They're going to take advantage.
It's just, you almost think the pressure of the moment here. There goes the runner towards third, and that one's fouled out of play. You almost think the pressure of the moment, not the I'm nervous because of the crowd type of pressure, but the season could be done in a couple hours, I don't want it to be pressure, is starting to get to our guys a little bit because we just don't look like ourselves. Kentucky has earned the right to be up, but we just don't look like ourselves right now. Torres looks back at second, and he'll throw it back to second this time.
And it's an environment, too, that obviously everything we do this weekend is we're doing for the first time, but you have a 0-1 game, an elimination game on the Saturday, and with no host team here. It's a dead crowd. It was a late night for us last night. Kind of going through things for the first time, I think, are playing a factor, too.
2-2 pitch inside 3-2. You know what, Joe? You say dead crowd, and you're not wrong compared to last night. If it's not the second biggest crowd we've played in front of this year, it's the third.
Yeah.
I mean, NC State, South Carolina. I think there's more people here than were at the South Carolina game. 3-2 pitch. Slider hitting the left field for a base hit. Zener will come get to it. They're going to hold Hage up at third. And McCoy will take off towards second. Ritzer will pump fake a throw. We got Hage at third. We got him. What a play by Alex Ritzer to pump fake a throw to second. Hage got real aggressive at third. And Ritzer fires it over to Sheehan for the tag. And there's 2 down.
That play never works.
Never works.
I've never seen the pump fake throw to second back to third work.
Well, there's no reason for Hage to do that.
No.
And it's just
sloppy.
It's a guy in Cole Hage who's obviously a good player and is at the plate talking to himself and getting. You're almost too revved up and we're too aggressive and just didn't think Why would I need to bounce off the bag when the guy who has the ball is 12 feet away from me and there's a guy at third? That's just not thinking. Here's Carson Hansen. Like to see him not hit a home run like he did last time. Takes a slider inside. Lefty on lefty matchup. Hit an opposite field home run. His 7th of the year is last time up. Runner at second, 2 down, 3-0 our score. James McCoy has 2 of their 4 hits. Big open stance by Hansen. And he foul tips one back. Ball and a strike.
It was a stressful at-bat here. I mean, I was not just with what Hansen did in his last at-bat, but if you can get out of this, a little momentum changing play at third. I mean, we got to get a hit, but find some momentum where you can get it.
Here's a ground ball to second. Gage Griggs gobbles it up over to first, and we do get out of it. See if we can build on that momentum as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Still trailing 3-0.
Hey, Steve and Tommy here from Spartanburg's world-famous Beacon Drive-In. Tommy, what do you think our customers enjoy most at the Beacon?
Cheddar cheeseburger, hash, and sliced pork, eggplant, fried chicken, blunder, chicken stew, chef salad, perched chicken liver, and Buffalo's club ham and turkey.
Oh, my goodness, I thought you'd say that. Join Steve
and Tommy
at Spartanburg's Beacon Drive-In, open Thanksgiving Day, 1946 by John White, located on John White Boulevard.
For more than 60 years and over 3 generations, locally owned Holden's Marine Center on Highway 9 has been serving the boating needs of South Carolinians. Holden's large inventory features aluminum all-wheel fishing boats with Suzuki motors, Duranautic and John boats, as well as tune-ups to keep you on the water all season long. Visit Holden's Marine Center today, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 at 1265 Boiling Springs Road, or call 864-585-1484. Holden's Marine Center, your marine expert since 1961.
Hey, this is Ryan Clary. You're listening to the home of USC Upstate Baseball. Fox Sports Spartanburg, 98.3 FM, WSPG Spartanburg. 3-0 on the Founders Federal Credit Union scoreboard. RelaxJoinFounders.com. RelaxJoinFounders.com. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Spartans. And we're still looking for our first hit off of Nick McKay. You wouldn't know it by the first when we hit 3 deep fly balls to the outfield. And one of those was off the bat of Vance Sheehan and went 385 feet to center field. That ball was absolutely roped. To take you through the next 3, here's Joe Skinner.
2-3-4 for Upstate. Still looking for our first hit.
I'm going to visit the snack bar that I created in front of me here.
Smart.
Yeah,
smart.
Just
take a stroll.
Pretzels, little almond bar, little Fritos.
Sheehan lined out to deep center. Back in the first. Seeing McKay for the second time takes a curveball on the first pitch for a strike. Elimination game. First of the weekend here in Clemson.
Like, if you told me McKay was going to go overseas and fight, I'd feel real confident.
0-1. Strike at the knee.
Boy, Kane's getting pissed.
And it did look knowing now. Kane is having some words from the third base coach.
Listen, I don't blame him because Randy Rosenberg has been about as consistent as a 4-year-old with their mood swings today. I mean, this strike zone has been ridiculous. It has moved around all day.
Here's the 0-2 line drive inside the bag, left field, and headed into the corner. Vance is going to have extra bases as Hage hustles over, throws it in, and it's a leadoff double for Vance Sheehan to lead off the top of the 4th.
I mean, I know we're the 4 seed, and Clemson and Kentucky and West Virginia have, guys that make money, and we have guys that go to school and pay money, but let's not get absolutely hosed here today by a strike zone that's ridiculous. And I love that Kane told Vance to get out of the box for a minute. Kane turned to the home plate umpire, yelled at him, and then Vance ripped a double down the left field line. I love it.
It's the first hit of the game for Upstate. Here's Scott Campbell, lined out to right. Back in the first. Game just about an hour old, top of the 4th. Vance with a half step off a second. Pitch is home and it's low and away. Fastball backhanded by Burks.
Wind starting to pick up. You feel that coming in?
Yes, it is. It is straight in from center field. The American flag out beyond the right center field wall.
Seth's hair just blowing in the breeze there, running down those stairs.
Scott's ahead in the count, 1-0. Pitch is a fastball, top of the zone for a strike.
I love that Kane just told Vance, just get out and let me get all revved up and try to get something going there. And I think McKay almost got a little angry and just grooved one.
1-1 strike, leg lift delivery. That is off the plate.
That's been a strike 9 times today, dude.
Kentucky is kind of getting a taste of it now.
That has been a strike all game long. That's work your butt off for 365 days to get this strike zone here.
See if Scott can get a fastball here. He doesn't. It's a slider. It's up in the zone. It's strike 2.
Kane's getting frustrated, Joe. Look at him.
And don't really get a lot of in-game emotion from Kane Sweeney, but he's got his tells when he doesn't like the strike zone. Kind of leans back matrix style. 2-2. Outside, good lead from Scott.
Remember, we saw it last year with Bakich. Don't get run on the last day of the year. It carries over.
That's right.
Remember, Bakich was suspended the first 2 games of the year this season.
3 strikes. As Upstate trails by 3 against Kentucky. McKay is set right down the middle on the rubber. And before the 3-2, he'll spin back and throw a soft one over to second. Kentucky dropped 1-4-3 yesterday against West Virginia. Gave up 4 unanswered. And were walked off on a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 9th. Now they're the home team. Here's the 3-2. Campbell, hard hit towards short. It's past the shortstop. Gargan into left center field. Vance had to hold up. He now gets the stop sign at third. Scott Campbell goes to second. Nobody's on the base.
Well, that's great base running there by Scott Campbell. Nobody was at second base. The second baseman, Lawrence, just fell asleep and didn't go to the bag.
Scott was about halfway between first and second when he looked up and didn't see. Normally the first baseman is following you to the bag. The second baseman should be over there too. And he takes an empty base.
Lawrence was running to first like it was a ground ball to center, and you go to first when it's a ground ball to center, and there's going to be the plate where the first baseman's the cutoff man. Because Lawrence didn't read that Cheyenne got a late jump, he went to first like there's going to be a play at the plate where he would go to first. The problem was Cheyenne wasn't going to go. The first baseman doesn't sprint in, so he then runs to first, turns back to go to second. Nobody's there. Campbell cruises in. That's great base running by Scott Campbell, and a misplay there by Luke Lawrence, the second baseman.
Well, it is a single in advancing on the throws. Kentucky will take the first mound visit of the game, and now Upstate's got the tying run at the plate, and it's Johnny Sweeney.
There's their pitching coach. Came out and I think kind of just laid into the entire team here. But back-to-back hits to start the 4th, and Sweeney can certainly tie it up with one swing of the bat like we've seen 18 times this season.
Double, single, nobody out to start the top of the 4th. And Johnny digs in. First pitch from McKay is inside, ball 1. Had to back up out of the way of it. No shift on, no big shift on. But the second baseman, Lawrence, is back in the grass. First baseman, McCoy, is deep in the hole. That pitch is swung on and fouled off.
That pitch, that curve or slider, whatever it is, it really looks like a curveball from McKay because it's in the 70s, has been a difficult pitch for the left-handers in our lineup to lay off of today.
A ball and a strike to Johnny. Vance off of third, Scott Campbell off of second. The pitch upstairs, 2-1. Fastball at 92.
Everybody in this tournament, every at bat is pitching Johnny in, trying to get under his hands a good bit.
Hit a home run over the right field bleachers yesterday in the second inning against Clemson. He's ahead 2-1 out of the windup. McKay, pitch, fastball elevated, and Johnny was late. Foul ball out of play. Looks down to Kane at third base. It's a 2-2 count. Upstate trying to crack the scoreboard. McKay winds and fires. Up. Full count.
And McKay overthrew a fastball that time. You almost want to tell him, if you're Kentucky, to settle down. We'll take an overthrow right here.
3 balls and 2 strikes. First base empty, and Scott Newman is on deck. Second and third. 3-2 out of McKay. Pitch is lifted and tailing foul over the Upstate section.
That's the ball when Johnny has his timing and takes a lot of BP. I think he tattoos. He has not taken a lot of BP in the last month. He's just a little off on that pitch.
And we'll see another 3-2 pitch. McKay fires, inside slider, ball 4. Bases loaded for Scott Newman.
First time today we've laid off that pitch. Second walk of the day for Johnny. So that really good pitch down and in, Johnny laid off of it. That ball was over the plate, Joe, to start. That's a great take there by Sweeney.
He saw the dot and the spin, and the bases are loaded. Scott Newman struck out last time. The at-bat before that, he sent out to center field against Clemson last night in the 8th.
Let's do that. Let's do that one.
Tying run on base and nobody out.
I sent the signal into Kane, Joe. Just call for the grand slam.
The home run play?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to call for it here.
First pitch to Newman. Fastball off the plate, 1-0.
Reality is, if you're Scott, you got to be real selective here early. There's nowhere to put you. It's a 3-run game. McKay's overthrowing a little bit here. You got to be real selective early in the count. One pitch, one spot the entire time right here until you get 2 strikes.
1-0 pitch towards Newman. Slider, chopper towards third. It is foul as Herrera ran it down, caught it in foul territory, 1-1.
Just got on top of that thing, too. Hit it pretty hard, just beat it right into the ground.
The folks from Spartanburg haven't had much to cheer about today. Scott Newman trying to give them something to cheer about. Down 3-0. All the runs for Kentucky in the bottom of the first. Now in a bases loaded spot with the 5-hole hitter up. Newman made a great catch in center field to end the second inning. 1-1 pitch. Fastball yanked outside by McKay. 2-1.
Wind is blowing straight in. It is going to be really difficult to get one out of here. Not down the left field line at the moment.
Outfield is shaded to the right for Newman. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's another one that misses from McKay.
You've got to be so selective here if you're Scott Newman. He's not going to give him the red light here. He's going to let him swing, but you've got to be real selective. This has got to be what you call a doubles pitch. If you're swinging at this is a double or better.
59 pitches and 34 strikes for Nick McKay, the starter for Kentucky. Here's the 3-1. It swung on, hit high in the air.
Get out.
Deep right field. Turning back is Schwartz. Still going. Looks up. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul. 3-2 count, and he just missed a grand slam that would have given Upstate the lead.
Easton Cullison saying it went over the foul pole. That is really, really close, and I think the umpires may get together and have a look at this, Joe.
There are folks in the Cajun Cafe that are pointing fair, Clemson fans, and the umpires are going to get together around the mound. They can review a fair foul home run.
And they are going to review it.
They're going to go look at it. This would give Upstate the lead. Scott Newman might have just got a grand slam over the foul pole. Let's hope those folks are right that they're showing on TV in the Cajun Cafe.
Every single one of them are saying it's a fair ball. Every single one of them. And now Mazzoni coming out. He has no business being out there. Mazzoni coming out. Get out of there. Here's our first look at it, Joe. Oh, we can't tell that. What angle is the camera at here?
I mean, that's what makes these replays, home run calls so tough, is you have to have the perfect camera down the line, which I don't know if it exists here.
Oh, there's a better angle. Joe, that's going to be foul. I don't. The question is, it out right there? And that's so tough. There's just no way to tell from there. If that's called fair, I think it stays fair. How do you tell? How do you tell? There's no way to tell. And that's, to be honest, that's not fair to the camera folks. I mean, there's no way to see. My guess, Joe, if I was guessing, is it was just fair. But
it's not. That is also what that call would represent if it does get overturned, that now Upstate is in the lead.
Yeah.
With that little evidence, I don't think that crew can make that call.
The Kentucky coach is pacing in the dugout right now. He is livid about something.
Yeah, specified fair foul calls are reviewable, so I don't think that can be something he's upset about.
Kentucky, by the way, has two arms warming up, a right-hander, Nick Adcock, and number 41, the left-hander, Evan Byers. So here we go, Joe.
I'm still looking at this. It's making me a little bit more optimistic. That's the thing, is you got to go over every camera, including the static ones that don't move, and they're all grainy.
As deep as that ball went, Joe, out of here, when it crossed over, where the trees are, I just don't think it bent that much. My guess is it's a home run. However, there's no way, based on the cameras that we've seen, that you can overturn.
That's the other issue, too, is it doesn't cross either in front of or behind the pole. It crosses over the top. You can't
way over the
see
top.
Whether or not the ball disappears or not, which is usually the indicator on replays like this.
Well, they are taking a long time to. My guess is they're really trying to put a couple of camera angles together to see what they can find.
Yeah, I mean, we've been sitting here for now, 3-4 minutes. They're going to take the headsets off and make the call.
I say it's foul, Joe.
Call on the field is a foul ball. The umpire comes out, jogs to the baseline, waves up at us. It is a foul ball. 3-2. Kane Sweeney, not much of a protest.
Again, I don't think, to be honest with you, I think it was fair, but there's no way you could overturn that with the camera angles you have.
Again, I think a go-ahead grand slam also goes against Upstate given the situation.
Yeah.
Well, he's still up. It's still 3-2, and the bases are still loaded, and there's nobody out. After a long break, McKay fires the 3-2, swinging a foul ball, low and away. Newman spoiled what was going to be a very close pitch on the corner. Sheehan reached on a double. He's now at third. Campbell at second. Reached on a single. Sweeney was walked.
So close, Joe.
3 balls, 2 strikes. McKay fires, slider, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Newman goes down swinging for the first down.
We left the bases loaded in the 5th yesterday when we had nobody out. We did not score. Now we've got the bases loaded, 1 out after a strikeout. You can't not score in these moments in NCAA tournament games. You got to find a way. And Preston Lucas at the plate, he struck swinging on that nasty slider down and in. You know he's going to see another one here, Joe.
Yeah, that strikeout pitch to Newman was also the slider. Here's Lucas. First pitch to him, swing and a miss on the slider.
Same pitch.
0-1. This part of the order, Newman, Lucas, Griggs, went down in order after a Johnny Sweeney walk in the second. McKay's 0-1. Back to the slider, backdoor, called strike 2. This is a big moment in this game here for Upstate. Bases loaded, got their first hits of the contest and loaded the bases with nobody out. Starting to feel a lot like yesterday. See if they can change it. 0-2, slider, fly ball, left center field. Hansen over, it's over his head, and one hops the wall. Vance is going to score. Campbell's going to score. Johnny chugging around third, 2-run double, and Preston Lucas cuts into the lead, 3-2.
Boy, that was needed. That was just so needed. Fire up our guys a little bit. Fire up our section.
Just took it the other way into the left center field gap right underneath the scoreboard, and Hansen couldn't track it all the way down. That was a 3rd consecutive slider, and it hung for Preston. Just out of the reach of Hansen.
Lucas delivers again. 19th double, RBIs number 62 and 63.
And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position for Upstate, down 3-2. First pitch to Gage Griggs, fastball out of the zone. He punched in a run yesterday. Upstate's second run against Clemson came in on a little bloop single to center. Griggs flew out to right last time up. He's 0-for-1. He's ahead in the count. The 1-0 pitch from McKay, slider in the dirt, 2-0. Still double barrel bullpen action for Kentucky, a lefty and a righty.
Yeah, 41, Evan Byers, a 5.28 earned run average, and Niall Adcock, a 7.02 earned run average.
Devin Burks just got the go talk to him sign from the Kentucky dugout, and they're going to take a visit.
These are not their top guys out of the pen.
quick visit. So Preston Lucas with a 2-run double, his 19th double of the season, his 62nd and 63rd RBI of the year. Makes it Kentucky 2, Upstate 3. Upstate got it backwards. Griggs into center field. Hansen under it, got it. Johnny tagging from third. The throw goes to third, and Upstate ties the game. 3-3, sacrifice fly, Gage Griggs.
Gage, another big hit. Another big hit. Johnny scores. The opposite of yesterday. All three of those runs that were on base when Scott Newman hit what we believe was a home run, but there's just no way to overturn it, end up scoring. You get one more of those home. We end up getting all four of those anyway. Let's see if Jake can bring him home right here.
Lucas stayed at second on that play. And it's Jake Armsey, grounded out to short to lead off the third.
Yeah, the throw came into third. I'm really surprised by that with Sweeney at third.
Brand new game, 3-3 tie. First pitch slider off the plate from Nick McKay. A 5-0 record holder on the year. Armsey waits the 1-0 out of the stretch. McKay slider backs him up and in 2-0. McKay is getting a little bit wild now. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride for him in terms of throwing strikes. This is going to be his 32nd pitch of the inning. He's now into the 70s. Hitters count for Jake. Here's the 2-0. Fastball above the letters, 3-0. Alex Ritzer's on deck. This is the 7th batter of the inning for Upstate.
Started with a bad strike call that Sheehan turned into a double.
3-0, red light for Jake. It's right down the middle for a strike.
It was an 0-2 pitch. McKay kind of overthought it, just thought I could punch this past him, and Sheehan ripped a double, and that's how we got started here in the fourth.
McKay looks back to second at Preston, now comes home with a 3-1.
Ooh.
Jake thought it was ball 4. It was up and called a strike, 3-2.
Dadgum, Randy. What are you doing, man? God, that's bad.
Oh, that was not close. That was up.
I mean, it's just terrible.
3-2 count with 2 outs now. McKay fires outside, ball 4. This time it is ball 4.
You think? Jeez.
They're trying to get an appeal down to first. There's not even a check swing. It's first and second after the walk for Alex Ritzer with 2 away.
Ritz. Again, McKay has actually been better against the left-handers today with that slide. Now, Lucas had the double to left center, but he's throwing curves to right-handers and the slider to the lefties, and the slider has been his best pitch that he's had all afternoon long.
Here's Alex Ritzer. I think Kane Sweeney's getting close to his boiling point here with the strike zone. First and second for Ritz. First pitch comes home. Slider inside towards the knees, 1-0.
Yeah.
Not a lot of first pitch strikes from McKay in this inning.
That's a good point.
He's fallen behind a lot of guys, including Ritzer here, the 8th batter of the inning. Here's the 1-0. It's another one yanked inside. Fastball at 93.
Those guys in the pen have got to be ready. The righty is set down. Byers, the left-hander, is still throwing.
Could be waiting on Zener. Got 2 lefties here. Back-to-back for Upstate if Ritz can keep the inning going. Hitters count 2-0. Pitch swung on and missed. Right over the top of it. A changeup. 2-1.
That was a filthy pitch. That thing had to look really good.
Upstate has tied the game 3-3. 2-run double by Preston Lucas and a sac fly. Here's the pitch. Another one inside. 3-1. Top of the order on deck. Chance to load the bases again with another misfire from McKay. It is Evan Byers, the senior lefty, who is ready to go if Kentucky needs him in the bullpen. 3-1 pitch to Ritz. Check swing. He went around, and it's strike 2.
Yeah, there's that
half swing from Ritz.
Yeah, that slider, again, that's just, he's thrown to lefties, and it's been filthy. Runners will be on the move here, Joe.
3-2, 2 outs, first and second in a tie game. McKay fires to Ritzer. The pitch is swung on a miss, strike 3. Slider inside, tied him up, but Upstate ties the game. 3 runs on 3 hits, and they strand 2. Brand new game headed to the bottom of the 4th. 3-3. This is Upstate Baseball.
For the last year, we've been telling you about a great Mexican restaurant downtown, El Paso Tacos and Tequila. If you haven't been by to try their delicious Tex-Mex lunch combos or their wonderful fajitas, what are you waiting for? For lunch, try an El Paso's favorite, which includes a burrito, taco, an enchilada, and a chalupa. For dinner, you can never go wrong with El Paso's quesadillas. And remember, happy hour is 4 to 7 p.m. every day. So ask about all the different drink specials. Try it all at El Paso Tacos and Tequila, across from the new Spartanburger Stadium downtown.
A few years back, when we were ready to reopen the station, the water pipes burst, putting thousands of dollars of equipment in danger. That was one stressful evening, but one phone call to Thomas McGuire and PuroClean, the paramedics of property damage, and our stress disappeared. PuroClean rolled in, took charge, and rescued the station from severe water damage. Since then, I've used PuroClean at my house. You should do the same. Whether you're faced with fire and smoke damage, a flooding basement, or need carpet or upholstery cleaning, do what I do, and that's called 285-3530 for PuroClean.
Brett Sugar here in the Beacon Drive-In Studios for an in-game studio update all around the regionals. Then in the Knoxville Regional, Wake Forest leading Miami of Ohio right now 5-4 in the bottom of the 3rd. Oklahoma State up 5-1 over Binghamton. I don't know. Never heard of that one. 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th. In Athens, up in Chapel Hill, Holy Cross up 1-0 on Nebraska. And in Tallahassee, Northeastern up 1-0 on Bethune-Cookman. Now back to Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Joe and Clary.
3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left for Upstate in the top of the 4th. They've tied the game at 3 apiece, and Chris Torres is out going to face Patrick Herrera, Hudson Brown, and Caius Gargett.
Upstate Baseball brought to you by Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836.
So no action in the Upstate bullpen here for Chris Torres. It's his 4th inning.
Boy, just zero right here. Get back to the plate.
55 pitches through his first 3 innings. Has given up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 2, and struck out 2. Patrick Herrera walked last time up. He'll take a first pitch outside for ball 1.
Blast that music.
I mean, everyone's got to get the walk-up music even after the first pitch. You know, don't let it slip you by. 1-0 count, infield shade a little bit left for the pull hitting righty. The pitch. This one gets across, a change up. 1-1.
Ethan Walker, junior left-hander, has begun throwing in the Kentucky bullpen, and got to wonder with them at the plate if that doesn't mean that he's going to have the top of the 5th.
1 ball, 1 strike. Torres out of the stretch, pitch foul straight back by Herrera.
That was actually the curve there from Torres. Just slower than that slider that runs about the mid to low 80s. That curve about 76. That thing had a big old hook to it. It's a good pitch.
Kentucky third baseman hitting in the right-handed batter's box. Holds his hands really down low, close to his belt.
Well, he sure does.
Tucked in there. He's in a 2-strike count. Torres, 1-2 on the way. Looked for the backdoor slider, missed it low. 2-0. No runs since the first inning for Kentucky. There have been some stressful moments for Upstate, but have not let any score. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Torres fires low. Full count.
The good news right now for Torres, when he's missing with that slider, it's down, not up around the belt. But it's not a pitch he's consistently thrown for a strike today, which means he's thrown that curve and changeup a lot more.
Full count to the first batter of the inning. 3-2. Fly ball foul over the facility here at Clemson on the first base side.
So that was the slider that was up a little bit. It was a good pitch. It was just above the knees. That was a good one, and fought off by Herrera. Love to get the leadoff guy here. We talked about leadoff guys earlier. Love to get the leadoff guy here. Moment in the game where you just feel that we can keep the pressure on him, but got to get a 0 on the board.
Gotten the leadoff guy in each of the last 2 innings. 3-2 pitch to Patrick Herrera. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Went upstairs on him and got a whiff.
Has not thrown a lot of fastball since the first inning, but threw one and just kind of thought maybe I've thrown so many off speed, maybe you'll mistime my fastball. That was a good call there by JCB, the pitching coach.
Next is Hudson Brown after Torres sits down, the leadoff hitter. Hudson Brown, a redshirt freshman from Olive Branch, Mississippi, is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He is the first strikeout victim from Torres. First pitch comes home to the lefty, slider, ripped towards first on a backhand stab. It's Jake Armsy, takes it to the bag.
So many great defensive plays by Armsy since moving over to first. There's another one. Monster play.
Got down to one knee, turned on the backhand, got it, spun around, and jogged over to first to get the second out. A rope from Hudson Brown, but spoiled by more great first base defense by the captain. Now it's Caius Gargett. 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. He is starting at shortstop today in place of the injured Tyler Bell, who batted leadoff yesterday for Kentucky. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's a little bit low. 1-0. Bell fouled a ball off his knee. They tried to get him to go in the pregame. There was a late lineup turn-in. It did not have Tyler Bell's name on it. He could be available to pinch hit if they want him to. 1-0. This one is called a strike, top of the zone, ball and a strike.
Could it be like they did when Babe Ruth played late in his career, like he swing and then somebody goes and runs for him? Could do that.
Timeout called offensively by Kentucky. They're going to bring Caius Gargett.
What do you think of my idea that this should be illegal?
I don't hate it. Yeah, I think mid at bat, it's you can't really. I guess if you compare it to other sports like in football, you can't call a timeout after the play starts.
That's correct.
So I don't hate it. It keeps the game moving a little bit because this is a throw the pitcher off his game.
Absolutely.
Timeout right here. You're trying to ice him.
Well, and again, it's nothing you couldn't have told him 2 pitches ago before the at-bat. If you're so caught up in the speed of the game, then limit the timeouts you can call and when you can call them.
And all you're doing is waiting for the umpire to come over and tell you to stop.
Right.
You're taking as much time as you want.
We know you're not telling him anything so important that you couldn't have told him 2 pitches ago that all of a sudden you've just thought of it. So you would have less of those during the game the whole time, which would speed up the game.
Count is 1-1. They're showing it 2-0 on TV. That's not right. That last pitch was a strike. Here's the 1-1 from Torres. Pitch is below the knees, 2-1.
Love to get him out here. A, it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. B, the 9-hole hitter's on deck. Love for him to lead off next inning.
Torres, pretty fast worker. Set up by his head. 2-1. High fly ball left center field. Newman over. The ballpark's going to hold it. Zehner's there too. And Zehner will take it for a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 4th inning. Chris Torres is settling in. Upstate coming back to the plate. Tied up at 3 at Duck Kingsmore Stadium. This is Upstate Baseball.
I'm John Hawkins. If you've been injured in a car accident, call all threes.
Call all threes.
If I'm injured in a car accident, I'm calling all threes.
Visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville or call all threes.
3333333 Hawk Law.
This is John Hawkins with Hawk Law. It's easier than ever to call us at all threes or visit us at 3 Caledon Court in Greenville.
I'm calling all threes.
I'm calling Hawk Law.
3333333 Hawk Law.
Spartan Waste is putting trash in its place in Spartanburg County. Spartan Waste is your locally owned trash collection company, keeping your community clean. Do your part by visiting spartan-waste.com to make sure your trash is picked up on time every time. And when we say Spartan Waste is locally owned, we mean the owners, Mark Nelson and Mark Mullen, are on the job every day, keeping the Spartanburg community, where they work and live, clean for their families and yours. Keep it clean with Spartan Waste.
This is USC Upstate Baseball, presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air.
It is the top of the 5th inning, and Kentucky has made a wings, etc. call to the bullpen for Ethan Walker.
Walker making his 14th appearance of the season. He has 9 starts on the year, so this is just his 5th appearance out of the pen. A 1-1 record, a 4.57 earned run average. He does have 1 save on the year. Through 41 and a third innings, Walker's given up 44 hits, 21 runs, 42 strikeouts to 16 walks. Opponents are hitting .278 off the left-hander, number 46, Ethan Walker. That is the Wings Etc. call to the bullpen. Wings Etc. Highway 9 in Bowling Springs. The best wings in Bowling Springs is at Wings Etc.
So Ethan Walker comes on. He is a transfer from Longwood, where he was in the Big South all-freshman team. He actually faced Upstate last year with Longwood. May the 11th in a 9-7 Longwood win. He came into that game, was the first pitcher out of the bullpen that day. Went 1 inning. They gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, and walked 2 against Upstate.
Well, let's go. Let's do it again. I'll take a 4-run inning around here, Joe Skinner.
He did not face any hitters that he's going to see today. One of them is in the dugout. It's Tyler Lang. The other one played for Winthrop. The other 2 are not on the team anymore. It's Henry Zehner, top of the order, tied at 3. New pitcher, Ethan Walker, the lefty, comes on for Kentucky and fires a strike to Zehner, 0-1.
Slow curve at 77, broke right over, started right at Z, broke right over the plate. Good pitch.
Slow wind-up from the lefty. That pitch is hit high in the air to left. It's going to curl towards the foul line. Long run for Haig to the wall. It lands out of play. 0-2.
Z has been a little late these 2 days in his reaction. Z is the best gap-to-gap hitter we have on this team. What I mean by that, right center to left center, evenly distributed, and he hits a ton of doubles, and when he hits it to the gaps, he ropes it equally either way with the same zip on it. All weekend, it just seems he's a half-second late for whatever the reason.
He's way behind 0-2. Walker's pitch is outside at 82. Last outing for Walker came against Vanderbilt. Gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and a homer over 3 innings of relief. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Ball and 2 strikes. Zehner trying to lead things off at a tie game. Pitch. Hard hit ground ball to second base. Lawrence, it's right at him. Flings it over to first. 1 gone.
I'd love to get something cooking here with Vance, who got us started last inning, double right down the left field line, his 16th double of the season.
So Zehner 0 for 3 out of the leadoff spot. Hasn't really been his 2 days to remember so far. Vance Sheehan put it up on TV. 48-game on-base streak after that double that kick-started the 4th inning for Upstate. First pitch to him is a fastball inner half, called a strike. It's been a pretty good run for Walker. 2 runs against Vandy, snapped a streak of 2 outings without giving up a run against Mississippi State and Oklahoma. 0-1 from him. That pitch is lined into left. Haig back to his right. He's got it. Another line drive out from Vance Sheehan, who's seeing the ball great. It's the 2nd out.
I mean, that's the 3rd time today Sheehan has roped a pitch, and he's 1 for 3. Man, he's hitting it hard right now.
Scott Campbell, 1 for 2. Singled up the middle and took second base on a mental mistake in the middle of the Kentucky infield. Not covering a base. Campbell waits for the first pitch from Ethan Walker. Curveball up high, 1-0. Elimination game. Winner plays tomorrow at noon against the loser of tonight's Clemson-West Virginia game. 1-0 on the way. That pitch is swung on. High in the air to shallow right. Schwartz in, McCoy out. Schwartz back to his right. Kind of almost tripped going towards the ball, but he hauls it in, and it's out number 3.
That ball, Joe, hit the webbing and popped into the palm of his glove. Man, that ball almost popped out.
Ethan Walker responds with a 1-2-3 inning of his own, going to the bottom of the 5th, tied up at 3 between Upstate and Kentucky.
Chris Foster puts his first and last name on his business, and that means something. Chris Foster Heating and Air has served Spartanburg and surrounding areas for well over a decade, and they proudly use Rheem heating and cooling products. Rheem stands behind their products, offering a 10-year parts warranty. If you need a heating and cooling system, need repairs to an existing system, or gas appliance installation, call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836.
If you're a sports fan, you probably have some jerseys and signed stuff laying around. We did too. You got to do what we did and get your valuables framed up nice at the Art Lounge, where Brandy has over 20 years experience in framing sports memorabilia, jerseys, and even newspapers, diplomas, and so much more. The Art Lounge is the National Small Business of the Year, so be sure to check out their local art, pottery, and jewelry too at the Art Lounge, Spartanburg's go-to store for Berg apparel as well. The Art Lounge, 1410 Skyland Drive in Spartanburg.
So Kentucky goes to its bullpen, gets a 1-2-3 inning. Upstate will stick with its starter for the bottom of the fifth against Devin Burks, Luke Lawrence, and Ryan Schwartz. It's 9-1-2 coming up. Got a reliever going for Upstate. And you're telling me that's Darren Kuski? It is. Darren Kuski getting loose for Upstate in the visitor bullpen right now. The Saturday starter for the last month and change.
You talk about the exact opposite style of Torres. I get it. I get it here. We're going for a win, man. We're going for a win. We're doing everything we can to get us a win in this thing. Kuski comes in, it would be a very different style, and everything of their approach throughout the day would have to completely change. I like that idea.
You can't think about, oh, well, he's a starter, we might need it.
Nonsense.
No, you got to get to tomorrow first and then figure that out. But Torres is settled in. He has not given up a run since the first. We're now in the bottom of the fifth. Burks at the plate. The Kentucky catcher is 0 for 1. First pitch to him is swung on and popped up behind home plate. Lucas will give it a quick look. It'll come down and land on the roof right on top of us. 0-1. Torres gets a new baseball, fires it in on the 0-1 slider, backdoor off the plate. Burks checked his swing also.
See, the strike zone is tightened back up. It's good to know. You just got to make notes of it, man. Mm-hmm. You write that down.
1-1. Swing and a miss, strike two. You know, strike zones are like tides. You know, they change throughout the day.
Depending on where the moon is.
Yep, depending on the moon.
Yeah, the moon is shifted.
Twice in 2 innings, it's big.
You know, the low pressure came in, and it really kind of maybe gave a different angle. The moon is hitting the sun rays.
2-strike count, pitch from Torres. Fouled off of Burks on the box. Now, with Kuski, we've talked about, you know, he's a starter. We usually goes through longer warm-ups. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine, unless this inning goes long, which we hope it doesn't, that he will be asked to come in mid-inning this inning, given how long he normally takes him to get going. He has come out of the bullpen in the past, but it's been a little while since his last bullpen appearance this season. Here's the 1-2 from Torres, down and in.
I would normally agree with you and probably have said the exact same thing. However, third time through the lineup, which is not something that JCB goes off of a lot, but you can't help but wonder if Kuski's going to start getting ready now just to be ready to face these guys third time through the order. Maybe not necessarily Luke Lawrence, the lefty on deck, but after that we'll see.
His last bullpen appearance came against Troy in that 11-9 loss where he struck out 6 over 3 innings of relief. Here's the 2-2. Hard hit, back up the middle. Griggs is in a shift. Backhand slide. Throw to first is high. Armsy's got the bag.
Wow! What a play by Gage Griggs. Holy cow, Joe Skinner sliding to the shortstop side of the bag and just threw a bullet.
Had to get it out fast, threw it high. Armsy put his foot right back down on the bag, reached up for it. Has a thrilling way to get the first out. Now it's Luke Lawrence, top of the order for the third time. Lawrence is 1 for 2.
Yeah, he lined out to center, pretty hard hit. Harder than his base hit back in the first.
That was the Scott Newman diving catch to end the second. Ugly swing on the first pitch, swing and miss, strike one.
And it's been the 3 and 4 hitters, Hage and McCoy and Hansen, 3, 4, and 5, that have given Torres fits. You wonder if Kuski's going to see those guys.
293 hitter coming into today at the plate. Lefty, righty, righty, the next 3 for Kentucky. Pitch right in there. Changeup, 0-2.
Joe, you've said it a couple of times. Torres has really settled in after the first inning. He's done that a few times this year. He's almost just gotten better as the game goes on. I just go back to that third inning, getting out of that jam was so big.
way ahead, 0-2 on the Kentucky leadoff hitter who's right over the plate in that left-handed batter's box. 0-2, slider in the dirt, didn't chase. Hasn't given up a base runner since that James McCoy single in the third that got stranded. 1 single, 1 walk over his last, call it 3 1/3 innings since the end of the first. 3-3 tie, bottom of the 5th, Upstate in Kentucky. Here's a 1-2. Line drive left field, good piece of hitting from Luke Lawrence, an elevated fastball. He took it the other way, and the lefty shoots it into left for a 1-out single.
I don't like him, Joe. He's really
Tell
good.
us how you really feel. Don't hold back now.
He's really good. I mean, he really is, man.
That is a high and away fastball that he takes the other way. I'm not even sure that pitch was a strike. But it was hard hit, and now it's Ryan Schwartz with a runner on first and 1 out.
Well, that's a big moment here. Schwartz 0 for 2, grounded into a double play and struck out. You got to figure Lawrence is going to be on the move here at some point. Try to turn that single into a double.
He's a freshman batting second in an elimination game for the Kentucky Wildcats. Grounded into a double play in the first. First pitch off the corner from Torres, 1-0. Love one of those again. Double play in the first, strikeout swinging in the third. Ball and no strikes. We're getting into the teeth of the order. Throw over to first. Lawrence is safe. He is 11 for 16 on the year stealing bases. How aggressive does Kentucky want to be? They usually are pretty aggressive on the base paths in a tie game now, 3-3.
Take a nice 5-4-3 right here, Joe Skinner.
Pitch is swung on, grounded to third. Ritzer to Griggs, over to Armsy, 5-4-3! Inning over!
And I just won $1 million.
That's $1 million. He did it again. As an inning-ending double play goes around the horn, and it's another 0 on the board. Through 5 complete, Upstate and Kentucky tied at 3. This is Upstate Baseball presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air.
Bowling Springs Sports Cards is Upstate, South Carolina's #1 hobby shop. They have the largest selection of sports trading cards, Pokemon, and more. Bowling Springs Sports Cards is an official Fanatics Direct hobby shop. If you're looking to buy or sell baseball cards or any other sports card, go by Bowling Springs Sports Cards. They have hosted the largest cards and collectible shows in South Carolina for the last 5.5 years. Shows take place about every 2 months, and the dates for future shows can be found on their website at bowlingspringssportscards.com. Bowling Springs Sports Cards, 13041 Asheville Highway. Follow them on Instagram at bowlingsprings_sportscards.
Gerhardt's has been in business on the east side of Spartanburg for over 30 years, serving up delicious and authentic Austrian and German cuisine. Today, Gerhardt's continues the legacy of their founder, Gerhard Gromer. Check this out. They have a new and improved beer garden featuring 10 new draft beers and over 75 beers from Austria, Germany, and around the world. Plus, if you're a soccer fan like me, come to the beer garden and watch international soccer matches on their new HD TVs and enjoy an artisan pizza from Gerhardt's Pizza Kitchen. Gerhardt's, a Spartanburg landmark since 1993.
Take me out to the ball game.
Just 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left after an inning-ending double play forced by Chris Torres. It is the top of the 6th in a 3-3 tie with Kentucky.
Spartan Waste. See why so many have switched over to lime green in your neighborhood. Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
And starting pitching this weekend has been no different from the last 2 months for Upstate. Their weekend rotation has really turned a corner since conference play began.
5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for Chris Torres today.
Sweeney leads off the top of the 6th. DH has been walked twice, but now he's seeing a lefty on the mound for the first time, and Ethan Walker pours in a strike 0-1.
Well, once again, Upstate is tied late in the game in the NCAA tournament. Let's see what we can do.
Using up all of our exciting games of the first couple. 0-1. Pitches outside. It's, you know what, and not saying the people don't know or to insult an audience intelligence, but if you watch basketball, 16 seeds get smoked all the time. That sometimes can be the case in baseball. It's usually not, but it's also usually not this. Here's the 1-1 to Johnny. It is called a strike at the knees.
That was a good pitch.
We're in it. We were in it in the 8th inning with Clemson all night. Now we're in it again with the team from the SEC. I think part of that is because of some of the games we've already played this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Johnny Sweeney. Walker comes home. Fastball elevated 2-2. We've beaten a ranked team. We've beaten 2 teams from the ACC and one of them on the road. This team's not afraid of looking out and seeing an SEC patch or an ACC patch or a little number next to anybody's name. Pitch is swung on and missed. 2-2, down and away, and check swing. Johnny couldn't hold it up. 1 away, and a strikeout for Ethan Walker, his first.
Here's who we need to get going with the lefty on the mound. Ethan Walker, by the way, is a much different pitcher than we saw last year. Scott Newman is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He had a monster day yesterday, seeing a left-hander here. See if he can get something to drive in a gap somewhere.
Newman just missed a go-ahead grand slam that was looked at for a long time on review. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Now seeing a new pitcher. First pitch from Walker. Above the letters for ball 1, a fastball. Lucas on deck, who drove in 2 with a double his last time up. Walker working out of the windup with nobody on. 1-0 pitch. That catches the inside black. 1-1.
Walker has made some really good pitches here.
Done his job, 4 up, 4 down.
He's hitting the corners really well.
Taking his time in the 22nd clock, 1-1. Change up at 81, dashed back across the plate for a strike.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. I mean, again, 4 quadrants of the strike zone, if you think of it that way, he's hitting the corners of each one right now.
That's a changeup that kind of backed up the righty, and now time is asked for and given to the catcher, Devin Burks, who might have something in his eye. He took his mask off, and now he's waving off folks and going to keep things going.
There's no might about it.
Yeah.
Got a little dirt right in the eyeball.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Or maybe a fly.
Walker's pitch home to Newman is fouled off. He'll stay in it.
Kentucky's starter, Nick Kay, did a really good job from the right-handed side keeping Newman off balance, kept him falling over the plate. He fell over the plate on a pitch away there from Walker as well. Shorten up with 2 strikes.
Here's the pitch. Jam shot foul. Got his ankle in the box. Stays 1-2.
Joe, that's like the 5th time today our hitters have been completely jammed and just froze up inside. These pitchers for Kentucky have done a really good job of getting us a pitch that looks good and getting really under our hands very well.
Nick McKay, the starter for Kentucky, went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, and struck out 5. Another 1-2 to Newman. Swung on a miss, strike 3. His 3rd K of the day is the 2nd out in the 6th.
Who's this Ethan Walker kid that all of a sudden is just outstanding?
Can be a little bit of a mystery when you just look at numbers in pitcher transfers. Had a 4.5 ERA at Longwood last year, 4.01 as a freshman, which is fine. But sometimes when you see these transfer portals when they're going up, you're looking at like 1s and 2s, and the best of the best. Sometimes coaches can just see something and say, I can tweak that and turn him into something really, really good. First pitch to Preston Lucas. It's called a strike in the outside corner. He's coming in, filling up the zone. 15 strikes in his first 20 pitches for Ethan Walker.
Very similar to yesterday. A lefty's come out of the pen and has really slowed our bats way down.
Had the bases loaded, drove in 2 with a double last time up. This time nobody on. A fastball gets away and hit him in the back shoulder. Oh, he's going to take a beat, and hearts are going to drop when our catcher that started 53 games gets hit by a pitch, but he's all good. He's going to jog down to first. And it's Gage Griggs trying to start a 2-out rally in a tie game at 3, top of the 6th.
Gage hits lefties really, really well here. I'd love to see Gage be very aggressive. Gage is a great first pitch hitter. Loves to go after the first pitch. Love to see Gage turn on one right here.
3 from Kentucky in the first, 3 from Upstate in the 4th. Griggs 0 for 1, sac fly last time up, tied the game. First pitch, swing and a miss on a slider, 0-1.
And that's it. He tried to pull that thing. I love him going after it early. That pitch was inner third, and he tried to turn on it and just missed it. But I love his aggression right there.
It's behind 0-1 on Walker. Expecting to see Darren Kuski pitch the bottom of the 6th. Still throwing in the Upstate bullpen. Fastball's way outside, 1-1. That's the first base runner against Ethan Walker. Sat down 5 straight. 1-1 count. DeGrace made a great defensive play in the last inning. Pitch is swung on and dribbled foul towards our dugout on the third base side. He was shaded up the middle playing second base. Hard hit ground ball up the middle, actually on the other side of the bag on the shortstop side. Backhand stop on a slide, throw to first, get the first out. Which, if get a comeback here, you can mark that one. Would have been a leadoff single. 1-2 to Gage. Change up outside, 2-2. Pop out to right and a sac fly to center. Walker has the sign set at the belt. Comes home, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider inside, all 3 outs are strikeout swinging by Ethan Walker. We strand 1, go to the bottom of the 6th. Darren Kuski on his way to the mound for Upstate. This is Upstate Baseball.
Lunchtime is come and gone for today, but there'll be another lunchtime tomorrow, and that's where Bubba's Barbecue and Bash comes in. Bubba's has ribs for lunch every day. Bubba's also has great burgers, pulled pork, calabash chicken, all of your favorite sides, and some of the best sauce around. Sure, you're hungry now. Hang in. Lunchtime tomorrow will be here before you know it. Bubba's Barbecue and Bash, 827 West Blackstock Road, just a half mile from Westgate Mall. Have lunch at Bubba's tomorrow or dinner there tonight.
For more than 60 years and over 3 generations, locally owned Holden's Marine Center on Highway 9 has been serving the boating needs of South Carolinians. Holden's large inventory features aluminum all-wheel fishing boats with Suzuki motors, Duranautic and John boats, as well as tune-ups to keep you on the water all season long. Visit Holden's Marine Center today, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 at 1265 Boiling Springs Road, or call 864-585-1484. Holden's Marine Center, your marine expert since 1961.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and USC Upstate for the first time today has made the wings, etc. call to the bullpen. And we will bring on the sophomore right-hander, number 33, Darren Kuski, making his 16th appearance of the year, just his 5th out of the pen. A 5-1 record, a 5.83 earned run average through 54 innings. He's given up 54 hits, 35 runs, 59 strikeouts to 23 walks. Opponents are hitting 255 off the 6'5", 220-pound sophomore from Clarksburg, Maryland, number 33, Darren Kuski. That is the wings, etc. call to the bullpen. His last 2 outings, he has struggled. Just 2 innings against Asheville and, 1 2/3 against High Point, or 1 1/3?
1 2/3.
1
Gave up
2/3.
6 runs and 4 walks.
He struggled, but Kuski has really good stuff, and that splitter can be really tough to hit, especially, and I like this from our staff, following Chris Torres. It is a very different look, very different style, hard-throwing right-hander, low 90s, fastball, sinker, and he's got that big curve, which when it's on is a very difficult pitch to hit. And so Darren Kuski will come out for us at the bottom of the 6th, and Joe, he will have the middle of this order, which has given us problems today. Hage, McCoy, and Hanson.
He'll see righty, lefty, lefty. As Chris Torres goes 5 innings, gets up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and will take a no decision. Here's Darren Kuski. First pitch on the way to the 3-hole hitter. Is swung on and missed for strike 1.
And the first pitch he throws, Joe, is that really good curve.
A hit by pitch and a walk for Haig. Last bullpen appearance for DK was back on March 7th. That time it's another curve for a strike at 81, 0-2.
When he got to Upstate, his best pitch was that sinker. I think the curve has become his best pitch, especially this season.
Way ahead, 0-2. DK comes home. Swing and a miss, strike 3 in the dirt. Lucas is going to take it inside the line, fire to first, and it's a K for DK to start the 6th.
I love the idea here. Here's my best pitch. You can't touch it. It looks sweet. They've never seen it before. And it's a really good pitch to right-handers. I'll be very interested to see now how he attacks, Joe, these 2 left-handers, the 4 and 5-hole hitters for Kentucky.
It's James McCoy, 2 singles. Kuski named All Big South second-team starting pitcher After a season with a 5.83, well, regular season was lower than that. It's at a 5.83 ERA now. First pitch to McCoy. Backdoor curveball, 0-1.
4 pitches, 4 curves from DK.
All of them strikes. 3-3 tie, bottom of the 6th. Upstate and Kentucky in the first elimination game of the weekend here at Clemson. 0-1. Showing bunt, curveball. It's a strike anyways. He pulled it back, 0-2. Going to get a little bit of a rise up in the Upstate dugout. Squaring to bunt just to throw off Kuski. It didn't. McCoy has not been retired by Upstate yet today. The 0-2. Back to the curve. It's low. 1-2. Now do you go off the curveball here? Do you throw it for what would be, I guess, the 7th pitch in a row?
Or do you go fastball, which starts at the same spot that curve does?
1-2. That one, I don't think even made it to the dirt.
Yeah, that's the sinker that he will spike a few times, and let's just say that spiked pretty hard.
2-2.
Looked over at the dugout and he said, I'm good.
McCoy, switch hitter, batting lefty now for the first time in this game. 2-2 pitch from Kuski. Another bouncer on that splitter. 2-2. 3-2. You're right. 6'5", 220 sophomore that got big over the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Added some miles an hour to his fastball. 3-2 pitch to McCoy, and he lost him. Ball 4. Went ahead 0-2 through 4 straight balls.
Yeah, none of them were close either. Came with his first fastball that he had batted 94, and it wasn't close.
So the man who hit the 3-run homer back in the first, the last run scoring for Kentucky, will come up with a runner on and 1 out, Carson Henson. He grounded out to second, back in the third to end the inning.
McCoy, a pretty good base stealer. Been perfect on the year.
Stays put this time. First pitch swinging off the end of the bat, foul, third base side. McCoy is 6 for 6 stealing bases this year.
Checking the math. It's 100%.
100%.
Hey, I just had to double check.
Hanson's a transfer from Milwaukee for Kentucky, playing center field.
I really hope somebody's listening going, does he really not know? That would make me so happy.
0-1 count. McCoy off of first, stays put. The pitch is a low fastball at 92, 1-1. Kuski's also got that sharp attack angle from right over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Helps make that curveball really tough to hit. Fastball goes down sharp. 1-1. Now it's starting to get a little wild. That's another pitch that bounces on its way into Lucas. 2-1.
I'd like to see him go back to that curve. These are actually the 2 sinkers in a row there, Joe, that have just been down. I'd like him to go back to that curve a little bit. Because, man, that was filthy early.
See if McCoy gets going here. It's a 2-1 count, and they'll throw over. McCoy is safe without a tag. 2-1 could be the count to run on here, especially if you're right. If they're thinking the same thing, that Kuski's got to go back to a breaking ball.
It's also a terrific count to hit and run on.
Gage kind of playing in the hole. Sheehan shaded up the middle at shortstop for Upstate. 2-1 from Kuski.
Oh, he's
leaning.
leaning
to wait, and they'll throw over again. McCoy is safe.
He was leaning. He was leaning that way, like he was going to go.
Tie game, 3-3. Go-ahead run at first for Kentucky.
You hit and run on a count where you think you're going to see a fastball.
Average size lead. He stays put. The pitch is swung on and fouled, backing out of play right over our heads. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
That's the first non-curve that he's thrown for a strike since coming out the pen. That was a good pitch.
It was 93 on the big board here at Doug Kingsmore. Pace slowing down a bit here with a runner on. 2-2. There goes McCoy. The pitch is a slider. It's up. Lucas fires down to second. The throw, I think, is a little late, and McCoy's in there safe. He steals second. The pitch was called a ball, 3-2. Good jump. Slider elevated. Not a bad location to throw on. It is a bad pitch to throw on, but McCoy got there. So the go-ahead run moves into scoring position, and in 2-strike count, Upstate will shift, I think, a little more in the infield.
It's a big pitch here, man. I know first base is now open, but it just opened up. It's a big pitch. You got 2 strikes on him. Got to get him.
Kuski looks back to second, comes home with a 3-2. Slider popped up, curling foul, out of play, third base side.
That was a good pitch by DK. Ball would have been called a strike. It was a really nasty pitch, and you got to give credit when credit's due, man. Carson Henson, 1 for 2 today, fouled off a nasty 3-2 pitch.
Kuski getting the sign from the dugout, holding the glove over his ear. Make sure he can hear it. He's got what he wants. First base side of the rubber. 3-2 pitch. He'll spin around and throw to second and bean him. Threw it right at the bag. McCoy was standing on the base. Shane tried to reach around him and catch it and miss. It just hit him on the backside.
And Shane and McCoy having a good laugh with each other. McCoy kind of dumbing like he was going to run and gave everybody a nice chuckle and a real tense moment here in a 3-3 ball game in the bottom of the 6th on the Founders Federal Credit Union scoreboard.
Still waiting on the 3-2 from Kuski towards Henson. 1 away, runner at second. Here it comes. It's inside, and it gets away from Lucas. McCoy's going to move on to third on the wild pitch. It's ball 4 as well. Runners at the corners with 1 out.
And this just can't happen. I mean, you cannot walk a team that can hit like this back-to-back times. I mean, they've done nothing here this inning. They've earned nothing. And now they have the go-ahead run 90 feet away with less than 2 outs.
JCB, and I wonder if someone's going to hustle down to the bullpen. Max Bianchini has grabbed his glove down in the Upstate bullpen.
He fouled off a great pitch, but you come in, you have a great 3-pitch strikeout to Hage. It was so good. But, man, to have back-to-back walks and have 2 strikes on both of them, it's just in the NCAA tournament, man, that'll bite you.
I think this could be his last batter, too, and Bianchini's hustling to get loose. It's going to be Patrick Herrera. Third baseman is 0 for 1 with a walk. First and third, 1 out, tie game at 3.
Herrera's grounded into 3 double plays this season, which would be great, but I wonder, as aggressive as Kentucky is, Hansen 5 for 6 in stolen bases. If you don't run him early to try to stay out of it, also you could expect a squeeze right here.
That's where I was going. Do you think bunt here?
Yeah, I think you've got to try to manufacture a run if you're Kentucky. Don't allow yourself to be able to potentially hit into a double play, because Kuski, with that splitter, induces a lot of double play balls. So let's see if Kentucky tries to take matters in their own hands right here.
Herrera at the plate. He does square to bunt. He drops it down. It's back to the mound. Kuski will have to go to first, and Kentucky will take the lead on the safety squeeze that scores James McCoy. It's 4-3.
Yeah, I mean, that's... When you play a team who executes small ball so well, you could just see that coming. And that's why walks against teams like Clemson and West Virginia and Kentucky will just kill you. I mean, they've done nothing. The ball has only traveled 21 feet this inning, and they've scored a run and are a base hit away from scoring another one.
Henson moves to second, and now it's Hudson Brown. Kuski's going to face him, the lefty, and Upstate trails 4-3. Here's the pitch. Slider fouled back and out of play.
That's tough, because you feel like, Joe, they haven't earned it here. You feel like they haven't earned it.
And when you put them on with a walk and they go stolen base, wild pitch, safety squeeze.
Yeah.
Count is 0-1. Now with 2 outs in the inning, check swing, grounder, foul, first base side from Hudson Brown. And now Upstate can get out of the inning with a good pitch here from Kuski.
Upstate will have to come from behind again. Kentucky has not been good this year in one-run games, but they also play a lot of those one-run games against SEC teams.
No balls, 2 strikes. Bianchini still throwing in the Upstate bullpen. Righty on deck. Caius Gargett is also a switch hitter, so he could swing it around. No balls, 2 strikes. Kuski looks into Lucas, has the sign. Pitch comes home. Fastball outside, delayed steal, throw to third. Ritzer puts it down, and we got him. Delayed steal from Carson Henson is snuffed out by Preston Lucas, and the third out of the inning is made at third base. But Kentucky takes the lead on a sac bunt, a suicide squeeze by Patrick Herrera. We go to the top of the 7th. Upstate trails 4-3 from Clemson.
Most restaurant menus are engineered by a bunch of guys in suits sitting around a boardroom, not at Wings, etc. Heck, I'm not even sure if these fellas own a suit. They're simple people who know what you want. That's why they've got daily specials like 79-cent boneless and 99-cent traditional wings on Mondays, 89-cent tenders on Tuesdays, and 69-cent fried shrimp on Wednesdays. They also have weekday specials on margaritas as well as a wide selection of ice-cold beers. Keep it simple and stop by Wings, etc. in Boiling Springs, open daily at 11 a.m.
Man, Cleary, you've got a killer collection of old games.
Yeah, I just wish I had more time to play them, though, man. They're just sitting around here collecting dust.
Well, you know you can get good money for them at the Game Garage.
Wait, I do what?
Yeah, man, the Game Garage is a new, locally owned gaming store in town, and they will pay good money for old games and gaming systems. They'll even give you a fair deal, unlike that other place.
Man, that sounds great, dude. Where are they located?
Right off Pine Street, behind Wade's, next to the Subway.
Awesome! All right, one more game and take my ball, and then let's go sell some games.
Sounds good to me. I'm Bo Jackson.
Oh, come on! Hey, this is Ryan Cleary. You're listening to USC Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg 98.3 FM, SpartanburgSportsRadio.com, or be sure to download the Fox Sports Spartanburg app.
Top of the 7th inning. It's 8-9-1 for Upstate, and they come to the plate trailing once again. It's the top of the 7th. It's Jake Armsey, and it's Ryan Clary to take you home.
It's the second straight game in the NCAA tournament that Upstate is entering in the top of the 7th, down by 1. 3-2 yesterday, 4-3 today. I mean, what a showing. What a job by our guys just to be able to compete and be in positions to win. And we've still got the opportunity to get it done, as the entire lineup will at least get one more shot here. But Ethan Walker, the former Longwood Lancer, is pitching like an all-SEC guy out the pen. He's faced 7 hitters, has only hit 1 batter, and struck out the side back in the 6th. Not the same guy we saw last season. Jake Armsey, 0 for 1 today, walked his last time up. Lefty on righty matchup, and the first pitch is ripped right back up the middle, but that is exactly where Lawrence was playing him. Who plays Armsey to pull? 1 down. Wow. Man. Here's Alex Ritzer, 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. The first time, though, that he has seen Ethan Walker. And a shift on in the infield, the shortstop Gargett sliding over to the second base side of the bag. Upstate with just 3 hits. All 3 of them came in the 4th. Ritzer shows bunt and pops it into the stands. Nice catch. I need the Clemson fans that are here to encourage Upstate a little bit more. They're just kind of watching like it's Sunday church. I want them to be into it. The 0-1 from Walker. Fastball off the plate, a ball and a strike.
We don't get to scare you last night, and then now you don't care about us
right?
anymore. You can't. We watched you care about us last night.
You talk trash to a bunch of kids that you don't know where our school is. You got to cheer for us the next day. That's the rule. 1-1, good pitch. Swing and a miss at a slow curve. Walker has come in and kept us very off balance. It's the same thing that McGovern did last night. Ball and 2 strikes, nobody on, 1 down. And the 1-2. Fouled back. Looks like Kentucky's got somebody warming up in their pen.
That's a catcher.
I didn't say it was a pitcher. I said somebody.
Somebody's throwing.
Somebody's throwing. 1-2. Fisted foul into our dugout.
This is where a moment here where you're looking at a veteran leader to say something maybe in the dugout. And
that would be Armsy.
In this game, that would be Jake Armsy to get him going in here because it feels a little dead on our side of the field.
1-2. Chopper right side into the shift, gobbled up over there by McCoy at first. He'll step on the bag, and there's 2 down. Walker has now faced everybody one time through. Retired 8 of them and hit Lucas. And again, it's very, very similar to yesterday's game. A little different than how we got to it, but a 1-run game and a lefty in the bullpen who does not throw hard is shutting us down. Here's Henry Zener, 0 for 3 today. And Zener has just been terrific. Fastball just off the plate, 1-0. He has just been outstanding for us all year. Slid into the leadoff spot back in March and have just never looked back. This lineup has been awesome ever since. Zener fouls one out of play.
I mean, a 20-double season in your first year is wild.
It's just been terrific, man. It's just been terrific. Nobody on 2 down. Walker, the slow wind and the 1-1 pitch. Line drive, sort of, kind of cued off the end of the bat over toward short, gobbled up. That looked good off the bat. Once it hit the dirt, it slowed way down. And a nice play by Gargett and another 1-2-3 inning for Walker. Our 7th inning stretch is brought to you by Carolina Driveline. Visit CarolinaDriveline.com for all your drive shaft needs.
For the last year, we've been telling you about a great Mexican restaurant downtown, El Paso Tacos and Tequila. If you haven't been by to try their delicious Tex-Mex lunch combos or their wonderful fajitas, what are you waiting for? For lunch, try an El Paso's favorite, which includes a burrito, taco, an enchilada, and a chalupa. For dinner, you can never go wrong with El Paso's quesadillas. And remember, happy hour is 4 to 7 p.m. every day. So ask about all the different drink specials. Try it all at El Paso Tacos and Tequila, across from the new Spartanburger Stadium downtown.
You already know Carolina Driveline is the Upstate's leader for custom drive shafts and high-performance racing. But did you know Carolina Driveline also specializes in agricultural and industrial equipment? Carolina Driveline can keep your equipment moving so you're never down for long. And when the work week ends, Carolina Driveline's 37 years of experience can deliver the best in off-road racing and 4x4 solutions. Whether it's your workday equipment, your everyday car, or your weekend 4x4, Carolina Driveline is your high-performance solution. Find out more at carolinadriveline.com.
Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg is brought to you by Chris Foster Heating and Air. Chris Foster Heating and Air. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. Now back to Upstate Baseball on Fox Sports Spartanburg.
Our 7th inning stretch brought to you by Carolina Driveline. Visit CarolinaDriveline.com. Darren Kuski back out on the mound. He'll see 7-8-9 due up for the Wildcats as Upstate trails 4-3 in this elimination game in the NCAA tournament. Our first ever NCAA Division I tournament appearance. Incredible game yesterday against the home team, the Clemson Tigers. And now competing with an SEC opponent, the Kentucky Wildcats. Outside of 1 inning, our bats have been slowed down today. We trail 4-3. First pitch from Kuski. Splitter, 91 miles an hour, catches the corner at the knees for a strike.
Bikini wasn't throwing while we were at the plate, but I still have to imagine that Kuski's leash is short here.
He's up throwing again, the 0-1 off the plate. Wind shooting in straight from center. The 1-1. Curveball popped up left side in foul territory. Bullpen guys moving out of the way, and Ritzer's going to run out of room. Ball and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Upstate running out of outs, but have played incredibly well this weekend here at Doug Kingsmore, a place where we've had a lot of success. We won last year against the Tigers here when they were number 2 in the country. Tyler Lang and Kobe Croft hit big home runs that day. The 1-2. Fouled out of play. Maybe that's why Clemson's not pulling for us, because we beat them last year.
Yeah.
When they were number 2 in the country.
They don't want to play us.
Yeah. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
We'll explain that on open mic one day. Another 1-2 from DK. Swung on and missed. Good curve, and that has been his best pitch. I'm just a little surprised he got away from that in the 6th. That was a nasty curve. And there's one away in the 7th. Guys, Gargett 0 for 2. A ground out to short and a fly out to left. Gage Griggs playing just about up the middle. And that ball was grounded foul down the third baseline. Fielded over by Amp. Who's guarding the catcher with visiting bullpen in play here. And you had it out of play, you put it in play. It just seemed, I know why, but it just seems strange. Drops a bunt down. Ritzer broke on it perfectly over to first in time. Great play by Alex Ritzer, and there's 2 away in the 7th. It's not a bad bunt, but Ritzer, I don't know if he anticipated it, but he broke hard. And a nice play there by Alex, 2 away in the 7th.
Yeah, it was a good anticipation of that bunt. It was a good one down the line, a little bit towards the mound, but perfect throw on the run in stride.
Here's the catcher, Devin Burks. He's old enough to drive the team bus. First pitch from Kuski is a curveball popped up right side of the infield. Gage Griggs drifts back a couple of steps. Now he drifts over to his left a little bit. He'll make the grab, and a quick 1-2-3 inning from Darren Kuski. Well done by DK. We go to the top of the 8th, trailing 4-3.
Spartan Waste is putting trash in its place in Spartanburg County. Spartan Waste is your locally owned trash collection company, keeping your community clean. Do your part by visiting spartan-waste.com to make sure your trash is picked up on time every time. And when we say Spartan Waste is locally owned, we mean the owners, Mark Nelson and Mark Mullen, are on the job every day, keeping the Spartanburg community where they work and live clean for their families and yours. Keep it clean with Spartan Waste.
We go to the top of the 8th. Want to thank the Beacon Drive-In. John B. White Senior Boulevard, the biggest plate of hash browns you'll find anywhere is at the Beacon. The biggest breakfast menu you'll find anywhere is at the Beacon. Nobody does breakfast like the Beacon Drive-In. Want to tell everybody, too, because of the tournament format here where West Virginia will be bringing in their radio crew after our game, it is courtesy here to have very short post games when you are the first game. So even though this game's on a pretty good pace, we will have a very short Gerhard's Cafe post game show. And I really want to thank the folks at Gerhard's Cafe, the ownership group who also owns Isla on the Square and Delaney's Irish Pub. They're unbelievably awesome. Love those folks, man. Check out all 3 of those restaurants. A lot of Upstate fans this year told me you guys had been to Gerhard's and you highly recommended it to your friends and to other parents that were here. That's awesome. I wildly appreciate that. If you live in Spartanburg, check out our friends at Gerhard's Cafe. Here's Vance Shea, and he has hit it hard 3 times today. 1 for 3 to show for it. The first pitch from Ethan Walker, who's back out on the mound in his 4th inning of work, is a 77-mile-an-hour changeup up and away. Nothing overpowering here from Walker. Keeps you very off balance. And Shea out in front of that thing at 82.
And kind of in the same way that we mixed up the pace going from Torres to Kuski, they've done it in the opposite way.
Bianchini is throwing again. I imagine he has the 8th. There's a strike. 90 miles an hour. Shahan caught looking. He's mad at himself that he didn't pull the trigger. Upstate down to our final 6 outs. Got to get some base runners here. We've only gotten 1 off Walker since he's come out, and that was a hit by pitch. 1-2 from Shahan. Check swing. I think he went. Yes, he did.
And if that's the last at bat for the draft-eligible Vance Shahan in an Upstate uniform, he has been unbelievable. What an unbelievable player for us, man. God, he's so good. Draft-eligible shortstop. Man, 1 for 4 for him today. Here's Scott Campbell. He's 1 for 3. Singleton scored back in the 4th. All 3 of our hits are back in the 4th, and that pitch is down. There is a bunch of movement in their bullpen. Don't see anybody throwing, though, at the moment. One-oh pitch coming to Campbell. Cued right off the end of the bat towards first. Wow, it's a fair ball. McCoy steps on the bag, 2 down. Man. This kid, the transfer from Longwood, has just shut us down. And here's Johnny Sweeney.
No hits now in 3 2/3 innings. And just the 1 hit by pitch to Preston.
And I think what Kentucky saw yesterday of what McGovern did to us, they were thinking, we've got one of those. Not as good as McGovern, but he's pitching as well at him as him against us today. Here's Johnny Sweeney. Sweeney, big cut on a fastball, and he's grimacing. That one jammed him. And Johnny needs a minute, and we know why. That one jammed him, and that one hurt. And you can't help but wonder here, Joe, do you go get Wiley? Do you go get Wiley in this spot? And Kane, his brother's going to come down and talk to him. Katie, the trader's going to come out. That one jammed him.
I think, look, and Johnny's been great this year. And this is, in any other situation, fully healthy, this is exactly who you want. But when you're one swing away from tying this game up, I think I'd pull the trigger here and pinch hit for him. It's going to be a tough conversation. Johnny's going to be trying to talk his way to stay in the game. It's going to be very convincing. But season's on the line here, and hard decisions have to be made. It's what I would do.
He's grimacing that right hand a good bit. You know he wants to stay in, and he's going to stay.
Wiley wasn't even up on the dugout with a helmet.
So Johnny will stay in. He homered yesterday, 18 home runs on the season. Dick Hauser semifinalist, the 0-1. Jammed him again, but that time he's all right.
That's where they're going to go back to.
Oh, there's no question.
They see it, they probably know, like if they watch film at all, that he was dealing with something, but now that it's out there and we've all just watched what just happened, they're going to be putting it right in on his hands.
It's going to be up and in, right under the hands. The 0-2. That's a setup pitch. Slider off the plate, low and away. 4-3 Kentucky, top of the 8th inning. Nobody on, 2 down. Upstate has showed out again in this tournament, just incredibly well. Another close game for our guys. The 1-2. Strike 3 call. But Ethan Walker and McGovern for the Tigers have been the Spartan killers so far in this tournament. We go to the bottom of the 8th, trying to keep this a 1-run game. Darren Kuski back out on the mound when we come back.
Bowling Springs Sports Cards is Upstate, South Carolina's #1 hobby shop. They have the largest selection of sports trading cards, Pokemon, and more. Bowling Springs Sports Cards is an official Fanatics Direct hobby shop. If you're looking to buy or sell baseball cards or any other sports card, go by Bowling Springs Sports Cards. They have hosted the largest cards and collectible shows in South Carolina for the last 5.5 years. Shows take place about every 2 months, and the dates for future shows can be found on their website at bowlingspringsportscards.com. Bowling Springs Sports Cards, 13041 Asheville Highway. Follow them on Instagram at bowlingsprings_sportscards.
Baseball. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs here.
You can't have one without the other. With professional baseball back in Spartanburg, you need a premium hot dog to turn to this season. It's Frank's for the Memories. Premium all-beef hot dogs with their delicious chili, or a foot-long hot dog, or slaw dog. They're all in the lineup at Frank's for the Memories. Try them all with a side of chili cheese fries, tater tots, or onion rings. Slide on into Frank's for the Memories for lunch today. 470 Oak Grove Road near the West Side Library.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Darren Kuske back out on the mound. And he'll face the top of the order due up this inning for the Kentucky Wildcats. And it's 4-3. The team from the SEC on top. And Luke Lawrence has been a problem for us today. He's 2 for 3. Line out to center, a couple of singles. We've left him. Each time he's gotten a single, Brian Schwartz has grounded into a double play. I mean, if that's what it takes here, I'll take the trade. I'll take the single and then the double play. But imagine they would send Lawrence this time before. It's the first time that he's seen Darren Kuske. And the first pitch from DK is in there for a strike. DK had a very quick 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. Need to hold him right here. Keep it a one-run game. Lawrence fouls the 0-1 pitch out of play. Max Bianchini back up and throwing in our pen. It's not that Kentucky's done much. We've held them to 5 hits. And their run in the 6th was all about walks and a squeeze bunt. Everything in the first inning came with 2 outs. That ball was hit back up the middle for a leadoff single, and Luke Lawrence is on base for the 3rd time today. Now, I can't imagine this time they're just going to let Schwartz swing away without Lawrence either running first or laying down a bunt or something. And Kentucky's going to go have a conversation about it.
A couple of double plays. They got to do something here. And in a one-run game, you could, even though it's the 2-hitter, you could talk yourself into a sack bunt.
Schwartz has no sack bunts on the season.
I think you at least have to consider it. He's 0 for 3 with 2 double plays. The guy on deck doesn't have a hit either, but it's your 3 and your 4-hole hitters. It's just, are you comfortable throwing away outs with only a 1-run lead?
To get a second run, I would. Yeah. To get a second run, I would. Let's see what they do. You know, the way Kentucky plays baseball, though, I think Lawrence is going to steal. He has 11 stolen bases on the season. I think he's going to steal here.
Could be one of those pull back the bunt in the middle of a steal.
I think because of this here, you're going to see us throw over. But, yeah, I think Lawrence is going to take off. And so there's the throw over. That makes all the sense in the world. Alex Richter thinking they're going to bunt over at third. He's a foot off the grass. He'll be on the grass once DK lets go of the baseball. They do show bunt. They do run. The pitch is upstairs. The throw down to second is not in time. Sheehan did a good job to let that thing not go into center. I mean, this is just scripted so easily here. You see it come, just like the squeeze bunt earlier. You just see it coming. At least at this inning, Joe, I feel like they've earned it. They got the hit. Right. They got the stolen base. I mean, I can live with that stuff all day long.
This is what they do best.
Yeah.
Manufacturing runs, just like Clemson yesterday, kind of the same thing.
We talked about it on the Upstate tailgate. Singles are going to be doubles in this tournament for us. And that's we're playing teams that are just so fast. Preston Lucas called time. DK comes set. The 1-0 slipped, and it was a strike.
Wow. Didn't look pretty.
Just saw, by the way, a softball state championship win on a ground ball to first.
Ooh.
in the 9th inning. A little 9th inning magic from a Spartanburg team. All right. There you go, Joe. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Tricky.
1-1 pitch. They show bunt. Pull it back. It's low and away. 2-1. I mean, I'm not sure, honestly, if Kentucky can do this right, if you're going to see the ball travel more than 20 feet. I think they'd bunt him over, and I think Hage will squeeze bunt him in. I think that's the plan here. But now that you have 2 balls, nope, they're going to bunt, and, ooh. Randy Rosenberg says that's just off the plate, 3-1. Now, if I'm Kentucky, I'd take the bunt off. Runner at second, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was the bottom of the 8th yesterday that hurt us. We trail by 1 at the moment. They do show bunt, and that pitch is down, ball 4. Third.
It was the issue against High Point. It's been the issue today. Too many walks from Kuski down the stretch.
And that's going to be it for DK. Kane's going to get him. Yeah, just... We will make the wings, etc. call to the bullpen as Upstate in some trouble. We trail by 1 for the 2nd straight NCAA tournament game. Kentucky has 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. We'll tell you about the new Upstate pitcher when we return after this wings, etc. call to the bullpen.
Most restaurant menus are engineered by a bunch of guys in suits sitting around a boardroom, not at Wings, etc. Heck, I'm not even sure if these fellas own a suit. They're simple people who know what you want. That's why they've got daily...
Runners at the corners, 2 down. Hudson Brown, 4 stolen bases on the year, not running. Pitch is fouled back, 1-2. Winner of this one will face the loser of tonight's game tomorrow at noon. I was asked the question earlier this week by Matson on Open Mic, can Upstate win some games in this tournament? 1-2 curve right there, strike 3 called. I think the answer has been proven, yes. We have played a couple of great games, but the bottom of the 8th has hurt us twice. We lost yesterday 7-3. We go to the top of the 9th, trailing 7-3. You're listening to Upstate Baseball.
Chris Foster puts his first and last name on his business, and that means something. Chris Foster Heating and Air has served Spartanburg and surrounding areas for well over a decade, and they proudly use Rheem heating and cooling products. Rheem stands behind their products, offering a 10-year parts warranty. If you need a heating and cooling system, need repairs to an existing system, or gas appliance installation, call Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836. No upcharges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Chris Foster Heating and Air, 809-4836.
Attention Upstate fans, are you ready to secure your retirement with the team the Spartans trust? At Big Money Retirement Solutions, our seasoned financial professionals have been helping the Spartans craft winning financial game plans. When you're ready to join the winning team, we'll design a retirement strategy tailored to your goals. Call us today at 864-920-3155. Big Money Retirement Solutions, your winning play for a secure retirement.
The Gerhard's postgame show is coming up following the final out, so stay tuned after the game for all the postgame stats and analysis on Fox Sports Spartanburg, presented by Gerhard's Cafe, a Spartanburg landmark since 1993. Now back to USC Upstate Baseball, presented by Chris Foster Heating and Air.
We go to the top of the 9th inning in the NCAA tournament elimination game here at Clemson. It is 7-3 Kentucky, and boy, how similar the script is written from yesterday to today. We were tied at 3 going to the bottom of the 8th. Yesterday, gave up 4 runs. Today, down by 1 going to the bottom of the 8th, gave up 3 runs. For the 2nd straight day, we enter the top of the 9th inning, trailing 7-3. And Scott Newman, who was one of the studs yesterday, man, an absolute rocket of a home run in the top of the 8th, has struggled today. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and he'll lead things off. Upstate needs some base runners, and Ethan Walker, who has pitched a just a gem out of the pen. Back out on the mound, and Newman foul tips a fastball into the mitt, strike one. He must be really deceiving Joe, because we don't get blown away by 89 on the mound. A couple of defensive changes for Kentucky in the outfield. The 0-1. Slider down, a ball and a strike. Well, if this is it for Upstate, what a magical year it's been, man. Big South regular season championship, Big South tournament championship, first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament. 1-1 hit him. Oh, it hit him. And got him in the foot, and Scott will sprint on down. Leadoff man on in the ninth. Got to get the leadoff man on in the comeback. But it's just an incredible year. I mean, it really has been for Upstate. And in this tournament, we have represented ourselves incredibly well. 2 very close games. Newman's going to jog this out a minute. 2 really close games. I mean, I think we have certainly given notice here to some teams around the Southeast who pay attention to stuff like this, that
I'm just thinking,
we know what we're doing.
I'm thinking Kane's probably going to have a tough time scheduling next year now.
I would say so. Most of the schedule for next year is done, but the year after that, you are correct. Preston Lucas showed bunt, pulled it back. They were way off the infield dirt. Herrera was over at third. Now he'll stay over there. Lucas is the best bunter on the team. I actually love that from him. If that had been a strike, he'd have gotten it down. We'd had 2 on. The 1-0, big cut there by Preston. Preston 1 for 2 today. He had the big 2-run double in the fourth, which cut the lead from 3-2. Griggs would tie it with a sac fly in the next at bat. This game was tied for a while. 1-1, called a strike on the outside corner. Says Randy Rosenberg, who hasn't had his best game behind the plate, but at least he's gotten out of the way here. 3-3-0 for Upstate, 7-8-0 for Kentucky. The 1-2. Swing and miss. Another really good curve by Ethan Walker. And Upstate down to our final 2 outs of the 2025 season. Here's Gage Griggs. Well, if you're an Upstate fan, man, I hope that you are as prideful as I am about our team. And if you're not an Upstate fan in Spartanburg listening, I hope this season and this tournament has given you a real interest in our team. Griggs shows bunt up and away, pulls it back. A lot of these guys will be back next year. Most of this team returns. And next season, come out and see. Come out and watch. Tickets are free, by the way, thanks to Ingles. So come out and check out the guys, man. That ball is popped up behind the bag at second. Lawrence will go over and make the grab. And Upstate is down to our final out of the 2025 season.
We've got to be the best college baseball team in America that you can watch for free.
There's no question. And don't forget, you can always listen for free.
Yep.
Because we got you. We air over 40 games on the radio dial for Upstate Baseball every season, and we'll do it again next year. And the year after, and the year after, and the year after. We're going to keep it going for a long time. Here's Jake Armsy, 0 for 2 today, takes a strike. The captain of this team has done a tremendous job. We will have just one segment in the Gerhardt's Cafe postgame show. It'll be a quick one. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and Upstate down to our final strike. Kentucky trying to advance to tomorrow in the NCAA tournament. West Virginia and Clemson coming up here later tonight. Kentucky fans to their feet. There's a good number of them here. And the 0-2 is hit over towards third, past the diving Herrera into left field. There you go, Jake Armsy. There you go. 2-out single for Jake. Will bring Alex Ritzer to the plate. And if Ritz can find a way on, Joe, it'll be...
Things get interesting.
We would bring the tying run to the plate.
I'm curious. I mean, you'd have to get a runner on before you start having pinch hit conversations.
Mm-hmm. So 2 on, 2 down in the ninth. We trail by 4. Can Ritzer reach? Big cut by Alex. Fastball up and in, 0-1. Henry Zener waits on deck. The 0-1 to Ritz. Swing and a miss at a curve, way out in front, 0-2. And Upstate again for the second straight at bat, down to our final strike. The 0-2 off the plate, 1-2. Kentucky fans wanted it, but that was almost a foot outside. It's a team that was in Omaha last year. Ritzer looking at a 1-2. Strike three. Oh, goodness. Strike three called. That ball was off the plate, but called a strike. And the 2025 season for Upstate has come to an end. Your final Kentucky 7, Upstate 3. The Gerhardt's Cafe postgame show is up next. This is Spartans Baseball.
Gerhardt's has been in business on the east side of Spartanburg for over 30 years, serving up delicious and authentic Austrian and German cuisine. Today, Gerhardt's continues the legacy of their founder, Gerhard Gromer. Check this out. They have a new and improved beer garden featuring 10 new draft beers and over 75 beers from Austria, Germany, and around the world. Plus, if you're a soccer fan like me, come to the beer garden and watch international soccer matches on their new HD TVs and enjoy an artisan pizza from Gerhardt's Pizza Kitchen. Gerhardt's, a Spartanburg landmark since 1993.
Hey everybody, this is Tyler Sugar, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite places to eat in Spartanburg, and that's Grill 221 in Roebuck. They have the best burgers on the highway. Go by and try my personal favorite, the pimento cheeseburger. Hey, here's a secret. Add bacon to it. Makes it even better. They got a lot of great sandwiches, burgers, wraps, open-faced roast beef, and they got great sides, hand-cut french fries, tater tot, all kind of great stuff at Grill 221 in Roebuck, 4795 South Church Street Extension. They have the best burgers on the highway.
You already know Carolina Driveline is the Upstate's leader for custom drive shafts and high-performance racing. But did you know Carolina Driveline also specializes in agricultural and industrial equipment? Carolina Driveline can keep your equipment moving so you're never down for long. And when the work weekends, Carolina Driveline's 37 years of experience can deliver the best in off-road racing and 4x4 solutions. Whether it's your workday equipment, your everyday car, or your weekend 4x4, Carolina Driveline is your high-performance solution. Find out more at carolinadriveline.com.
Set your alarm.
All right, I've added it to reminders.
7 a.m. every weekday. Spartanburg's Best Sports is on Bump and Run, hosted by Tyler Sugar.
That's the guy. That's the hero.
We're talking sports and other stuff. Hear from local high school and college coaches, including USC Upstate, Clemson, and South Carolina. 2 hours to begin your day. The Bump and Run Way, presented by Hawk Law, right here on Fox Sports 98.3 FM.
Hey, Steve and Tommy here from Spartanburg's world-famous Beacon Drive-In. Tommy, what do you think our customers enjoy most at the Beacon?
Cheddar cheeseburger, hash, and sliced pork, eggplant, fried chicken, blunder, chicken stew, chef salad, perched chicken liver,